Oh shit! Sorry, I just realized I started the stream. Whoopsie. Okay, we are going to be doing the stream now. Sorry, my pre-stream hair ritual apparently. But yeah, we're gonna be playing some Viserai today, so it should be a pretty good time. Hold on, sorry, Donnie has something to say in chat. Let's see what it is. Isn't it wild that the Telstra team has all this spoiler nonsense playable way before the set release? I think that's true. Like, it's actually kind of awesome. They've been actually doing like a pretty good job of staying on top of it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play some Viserai today. So I think this list. Let me actually get this person's name pulled up, because this was originally inspired by a list I got in my DMs. So the list is from. Hold on, let me pull them up real quick. Oh, let me do this. So the username is GUELINHO purple. And they posted this Viserai list in the chat, which I thought was really interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here. So this was the Viserai list that I kind of took a little bit of inspiration from. So they were kind of doing this like Redline Viserai thing with just a bunch of like Ringate cards, and then also having like big turns with like Revel and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. So I wanted to actually do like a little bit of a spin on this list, because I think that there's something like kind of strong here. So I put together kind of my own little variation of that list. Basically, I kind of wanted to try to make like this like Redline Viserai kind of like shell while we're still kind of waiting for all the kind of new cards. I think I've got something kind of cooking here. So I want to kind of like go over, I guess, some of the kind of key cards here. So notably, we only have like 9 usurp cards. So I expect there is probably going to be a lot more as we kind of go through the spoiler season. But we currently are trying to just like maximize the value out of like the 9 ones that we have access to. So we have these like Sin Speaker Gloom Blades, which you can like use to like usurp these like rune chants and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I think Runic Grieving is like also pretty solid. It's just like a 0 for 6 almost, which is like pretty sweet. And then we also have like this one, which is like a 0 for 5, which is also like not bad. It has like the additional upside of you being able to like play it from your Banish Zone, which is like pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I think it's like a pretty similar-ish build. I'm also running like Shadow Verser to just get a little bit more like go again with our blood deck cards, which is I think a pretty big deal. So yeah, we're gonna be trying some things out today. I definitely like I got in a couple of games with this list, and it does feel like it can feel pretty strong. But like managing the root chant generation, I think is like really, really difficult with this list, because you don't want to like flip like too early. I think is the biggest problem. You want to kind of like flip at like a convenient enough time where you like banish enough cards to like kind of play out from your banish, and then you want to flip to the other side, and then you also want to like have ways to like flip back. So that's actually why we're running like cards like Pull from Beyond, and also Open the Gate to Irithel. I think both of these cards are actually like pretty good in tandem, especially just like getting 1 to 2 gates over the course of the game. I think is like really, really good. But yeah, this is going to be the list we're going to be playing today. We're also running like Corrupt and Conquer, rather, just for a little bit of like extra kind of value generation. I think this card is like a baseline, just like also kind of fine to just send. And then in the board, we have like a couple D-Reacts, some Shadow Roll Reapers. I think this card is like a little clunky, but we should hopefully have enough gate generation to actually like make it work. I think this is more for like longer kind of fatigue matchups, which is pretty good. Sent Goat Trophy for 1,000 jewels. Oh, thank you, man. Sam, that's very kind. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is going to be a fun stream today. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can kind of get into it here. I mean, Carrion Husk is also just broken. We get to run Carrion Husk in the board, which is always pretty sweet. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the list today. I'll stop yapping about it. It's felt really, really strong in testing, I feel like. Oh, and we're not playing Marlin today, unfortunately. We'll play some Marlin later this week, I think. But yeah, let's go ahead and give this a shot. It's definitely, I think it's the makings of the start of a really good list. I think we're definitely just still missing a lot of like the spoiler cards to really make this list hum, but I think like there's kind of something there. But yeah, shout out to Mansan. I know you're excited about all those Levia cards coming up. You probably already know like what half of them are, I imagine. But yeah, Levia is also really sweet. I'm excited for that deck to actually be really good. deserves a little bit of love for sure. Maybe actually I'll also make sure that I'm like queued up here. Okay, it looks like we're there. All right, playing against an Olympia. Huh, this should be an interesting matchup. I think we probably just want to like default to first. And then I think this is a matchup where we can probably afford to bring in a few of our Diriacs. I don't know how many we want though necessarily. Like this might be a matchup where we cut like the Corrupting Conquerors and maybe like a Pull from Beyond. And then we can also try like maybe cutting Widespread or something. I want to be careful like not cutting too much of our RuneGate though. Let's maybe cut the Widespreads for now. Let's try something a little bit like this. We could also cut down like a Revel. Maybe cut down a Revel, add one Widespread or something like that. So the sideboarding is definitely a little bit hard when you don't know what exactly you're kind of sideboarding for. Okay. 2 Rune Chants in the opener is not exactly what we want, but we can actually just become the Shadow Lord for the Widespread, which is pretty sweet. So this is actually kind of nasty opener because we get, I think, both the Gate and a Rune Chant, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we hit the Reduce off the top, that's fine. I think I'm going to try to prioritize arsenaling the Rune Chant of Greed here, so maybe we just like play out the Sloth. It's just going to like turn into like a normal Rune Chant, but I think we're kind of like fine with that. So this is actually like a pretty good opener, I think, for us. Just getting like a Widespread in the bin and then also kind of setting up for next turn, I think is really strong. Time to usurp them thrones. Hello, Havoc. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Havoc, what have you been doing over on your channel? I need to like check you out. Hold on. I'm gonna like go over to your channel real quick.
Something with a map that was crazy. Because...
Oh yeah, Tegan's been telling me about that, like the crazy map.
Yeah, because I was like, he asked like, how do you do this? And I'm like, there's a better way to do it. And I made a little how to do it in DaVinci video.
Yeah, I'm very excited for whatever that video is. Re-rendering the same video 6 times that comes out tomorrow. Okay. Y'all let me know when that video drops, because that's very exciting. I'm very excited by the map. I think that's really awesome. Tegan was telling me about the map thing, and I'm like, oh my god, that's going to be so cool. But yeah, that's going to be sick. Yeah, for those of you in chat, go check out Havoc's channel. He's got some really good videos coming up.
It's got actual good lore videos and not shit.
Yeah, Tegan absolutely mogs Tegan's
not just a joke that very few people actually got.
Okay, so we could choose to play out the Fate here, but it's not really like doing that much for us. We do have like a pretty sick turn lined up here though. I think we're just letting this hit. Of all the events of Fab in a single video, that's gonna be so hype. That's really cool.
I think Vincent's gonna be eating pretty good.
You think Vincent's gonna be eating pretty good?
Yeah, because Donnie says that.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Like, she's gonna have stuff.
Hey, what is prize word gauntlet? Why are you win a wager? You may tap your hero and destroy this. If you do, create a courage token. Okay.
Weird.
So it's like 3 value on the gauntlet, so it doesn't seem like too bad. All right, let's go ahead and see what we're going to be doing on our turn. We got like a pretty nasty turn lined up here. So I think the plan is going to be go Sin Speaker into Rune Chant Grade or something like that. We need to figure out how to give Go again. Oh, I guess we could actually just give Go again with the Deadwood Dirge, because we'll flip into the other Viserai and then we can like flip back. So this is actually going to be a really sick turn. Alright, so we get a banish. Oh, we hit a Bounding Demigod off the top. Let's fucking go. Alright, 0 for 4. Locked in. Alright, let's start with the Dirge so that we just flip into the other Viserai. So that we kind of get Go again here. And we also get like 3, or I think 2 banishes off the top. Alright, so it looks like we hit a Runic Reaving. Oh, and that's... Oh, maybe we only got 1 banish because we made 2 Rune Chants there. Okay, I think that actually makes sense. Okay, so the first attack action card with blood that you play turn gets Go again. So that means the Sin Speaker Gloomblade can get Go again here. So we're going to play out the Rune Chant. And then we're going to play out the Sin Speaker. The only down... actually, maybe I should change the ordering on this. Hold on. hold on, maybe hard ordering. I think we actually start with the widespread first because we already have the rune chants. Although I guess we're gonna like revel anyways, so I don't think it matters because we already dirged this turn, so revel's live. So I don't think the order actually matters here, or maybe it does because we're like sin speakering for the additional rune chant. It's like a little bit weird, but I guess we like conceal information this way. Maybe that's a little bit sketchy, but I guess we get to like draw the card first. Maybe that's like the appeal of this play. Kind of interesting here. So we'll get to tutor for another rune chant. I think we're just going to take like one of our sloth rune chants out of the deck. It's pretty exciting turn here though. Getting like the full revel value and then also just sending in with the widespread for, I think we're going to do for 9 here. Pretty nasty. I also really like the gate generation in this deck that it kind of has access to. Like, I assume we're going to probably get more in the set, but the gates are very important, I think, just for flipping back to the first Viserai, which I think is still, like, a really good mode of Viserai, especially when you don't need to go again. Oh, we don't get the Rune Chant Tutor here, because we didn't play it from Banish, right? I need to keep remembering that about this card. So this is just, like, 0 for 4 with Usurp, which is still, like, not bad. Yeah, I think that's like the intended design, Havoc, is to like to switch between like the. I think you want to do both forms because like the front-facing form is really good if you want to like draw a bunch of cards, right? But if you make too many rune chants, then you flip it to the other side, which doesn't give you any value for like making rune chants. So you don't get like the card draw, but you do get the go again. So it feels like the other side is like meant to be, almost like a way to capitalize on stuff that's like already in your banish, and then the front side is like how to get like more cards in the banish. That's at least how I see kind of like the vision here. It's very cool though. I think that this is like a very kind of tactile way to like flip between the two. It just feels like very, very cool to me. Yeah, it's like you want to like dance between the two sides of I guess the gate to Irithil or whatever. It's kind of flavorful. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. So let's go and do Revel as well. So then we get to just rune gate out the widespread destruction here for 1 million. Seems pretty alright. It's hitting in for 9 here, so unless they just like give us the fridge, I think we're gonna be eating the arsenal. The one thing we do have to note is it looks like they are fat decking slightly, so that could be like a little bit scary. Yeah, Viserai is so much fun. This is like actually going like I really like the design direction that they're taking a lot of the new heroes. It feels very much like MST, but like in a positive way, I think. Like there are some criticisms of MST.
MST was perfect.
MST was perfect, but I think there are some legitimate criticisms of MST, and I feel like this set hopefully will kind of follow around the same line of being like a very powerful set, but also kind of doing maybe like slightly more fair things. I don't know.
There's criticisms of MST, but none are legitimate.
Yeah, exactly. Team's
It's
got
a
it right.
perfect set. No notes.
All right, so widespread hits, fantastic. It's also really why I like Revel in this deck. I think Revel is just like very free to cast, so having like 3 of copies main deck I think is like pretty reasonable. All right, we're getting Golden Grailed, maybe with a Gala on it actually. That'd be like mildly annoying. But I guess we can just like Fate Foreseen this, so it's like kind of fine. Okay, so this is okay. So actually, here's a question. We can use our gate to actually like flip back here, but the only question is, do we want to do that? Can also just go like Ravenous Rabble into Bounding Demigod with Go Again into like 7 Sin. I think that's also like a pretty reasonable line. Like we don't actually need to flip back right away. Slapping Blood Debt on an MST style set is already a big step, ramps the risk way up. Yeah, I think Blood Debt as a mechanic historically has not been like this very risky thing, because like with Chain, I feel like you kind of just got to like vomit your hand out anyways, right? With Leviah, like you kind of just turn off the Blood Debt. Well, I guess like Leviah has like the most risk, right? Because you like have the risk of just like taking 1 million damage from Blood Debt, but then that got offset by like the Demi Hero, right? So if like Blood Debt is like an actual mechanic that like adds up over time and like is like activating regularly, I think that's like a lot more scary. But let's go ahead and just play out our Malefic here. So I think the play is we're gonna go Rabble into open or Rabble into Demigon into 7 Sin. I think is the line I see. We could have also potentially like just blocked with the Fate Foreseen here anyways, because we had like Tunic up. Okay, hitting the Arcanine Shard off the top is a little unfortunate. For what it's worth, we are only running, I think, 8 blues in the deck and like 9 yellows. So I think on average Murderous Rebel is supposed to hit, but that's a little unlucky. Shouldn't matter like too much though, hopefully. So now this Bounding Demigon will get Go again, which is pretty sweet. I'm excited to see how Malice handles Blood Debt that isn't allies, if she even uses them. It's unfortunate. We whiffed on the Murderous Rabble, but it happens.
Rabbit's Rabble.
Oh, sorry. I'm used to saying Murderous Rabble because I'm a Marlin player. So now the question is, do we want to swing the Nebula or do we want to just swing the Open the Gates to Irithyll? Because this one is definitely like an annoying breakpoint, whereas the 7 Sin is not necessarily. We could also do both, actually. Maybe both is correct. We just like snaps this, give it Go again. Into 7 Sin, that's like actually kind of sweet. It seems like a decent enough snaps for like threatening 4 into another 4 potentially. Make them have something here. Okay, they don't have anything to the gate, which is really good because that means we can actually flip back, which is pretty sweet. And I think this is a spot where we definitely want to flip back because we've like already used all of the cards from our banish, so we want to like try to get more here. So that was like a really good turn cycle. Like, if you're getting like this good a turn cycle before the hero even releases, that probably bodes well for this hero being very strong, I feel like. Oh, we'll see. I have high hopes for Viserai. I think that they could actually do something like really interesting with this this kind of like design where you're like flipping back and forth. Alright, double D-React is nice here. And then we have the Runic Reaving Cull, so we might be taking like a little bit of a setup turn here. Kind of depends what our rune chance hit off the top, though, which is actually why Fate Foreseen's, by the way, in the deck. Tegan actually told me to switch from Sink Below just so we can like kind of inform the top of the deck. I think I like the idea of maybe just giving Grasp here with the expectation that they might just try to present some number of reacts here. Alright, looks like they're going to go for the Gala, and then maybe, like, one more D-React here. Okay, up the ante. Okay, so I think we can still... Oh, no, we're unfortunately taking 1 here. Unlucky. That's okay, though. So, bottom the Dirge here. We're looking for basically any action off the top. Fate is getting better and better as time passes in general. I think that's true. Ooh, Call on the top is actually pretty sweet. Alright, we'll leave that one there. So we're going to be taking 1 here. Unfortunately, we can't just, like, call because they don't have any cards in hand. Alright, they're going to be making a lot of gold, which is kind of concerning. Maybe there's an argument to also throwing the face perg in front there. I probably should have counted how much up the ante would have actually done, because I think this did, like, +5. It's pretty good. But yeah, Fate Foreseen continues to definitely be a little bit broken. It looks like they're also tapping to make a Courage as well. Okay, interesting. Alright, the triggers will resolve eventually. Why are they trying to order these? Does it matter? I don't think it does. Okay. Maybe they just don't want to prop the gauntlets or something. they're sure taking a while to order the triggers, but that's okay. They'll figure it out one day. Alright, let's see what they got. So, agility, gold, vigor. We're looking at a lot of gold on their side, which is kind of concerning. But I think we have like a really nice setup turn this next turn, so I think what I want to do We have to be careful like how many rune chants we're making here. Because if we attack, then this turns on the Malefic, which is weird. I don't know if we actually have a way to like stop flipping though. I think what we do is just grasp with the Arcanite and just make 2 rune chants so we get 2 flips here. So we know we're getting the Cull, and then we could also get the chance to hit something else, which is really sweet. Okay, we hit another Rolly Sin, that's fine. So let's go ahead and maybe just play the Runic Reaving here, which I guess will turn on... We could also, like, hold the Reaving. How good is that? I think attacking with it is still, like, maybe okay. Still good damage. But it will mean that we, like, flip back into the other Viserai, which we may or may not want to do just now. I just panicked and terminated the render thinking I saw a bug. There was no bug. It was just rendering for an hour. Yeah. If you're using like DaVinci or something, it can take a while. It's very computer dependent, I feel like. Oh, Cull's pretty nasty here. We can even like banish a Cull to the Cull if we wanted to. Just kind of like ruin their hand next turn. Assuming that we actually get to get some damage in here. Something that annoys me a bit in Fab right now is all the Tapas cost things have no downside to tapping. In a couple of years, I believe every hero will have tap abilities, but right now it's weird. Yeah, I definitely kind of agree with that. It does feel like the templating just kind of like changed over time, so like the tapping is not really as big a downside as it like maybe should be. But I think like the effects are so minimal that it doesn't really matter a lot of the time. Oh, this is really good now. I guess we can just like Cull, see what's up. We like double Cull them here. It's kind of funny. Is double Cull worth it though? Probably. Might as well, I guess. Ooh, we got a really good turn lined up next turn. The only issue is the gate is a little awkward here. So we need a target to actually activate the gates, which is the unfortunate thing of like not having the full set quite available to us yet. This definitely might get weird. Alright, looks like they ended up just cracking a bit of gold here. I mean, we could even just use like Purgatory here, but I think our hand is like kind of fine. We have the Rune Chant of Sloth, which is actually like pretty decent. We'll go ahead and just take the Grail. Looks like Tegan's having like a DaVinci conversation in chat, which is very exciting.
What's up?
Are you just like talking about DaVinci in chat?
Yeah. It's one of my hobbies is talking about DaVinci Resolve.
Fair enough. All right, we're still in like a pretty good spot here. We do just need to like figure out a way to kind of close out the game from this spot. So the issue also is with Viserai. So Viserai is going to give the first attack go again. So we actually want to play this first before using the Rune Chant, I think. So we do this has go again, 0 for 5. This has go again, using the Rune Chant. And then maybe we like pitch Malefic and on sword. I guess we don't even... Maybe we just save the Rune Chant for another usurp card. Like we just like pitch this, play Malefic. Oh, I guess we can't swing the Nebula Blade though. Okay, so that makes this actually a little bit easier. So we just like play out Malefic, play out the Gloom Blade, and just send another like 5 here. I think this works out. Still like pretty good damage here. But this is like one of the downsides of like flipping into this version of Viserai like too early, is that you don't have like the banish fodder to like really make the deck hum. So it's definitely like a pretty substantial cost, at least while we don't have like the cards available to us. But now we actually have Painful Passage and open the Gate to Irithyll. So this actually kind of combos with the Gate to Irithyll for this next turn, which is pretty exciting. So this feels like a pretty crazy turn we got kind of lined up here. How's Vise-Red so far? It's going really well. Like we're up 16 points on an Olympia, which is like a deck that has full access to whatever cards they want to run, basically, right? Whereas on our side, we're kind of just like struggling for playables at this point, so it's like a little bit weird. I think we're just gonna like, This is interesting. We could actually just throw the whole hand in front of this, but then we don't get to use like our gates, which sucks. Also, this is overpowered, so we cannot do that. Or we can't face Purgatory them here. So I think we're just eating the damage. Maybe we even end up playing this reduce. Yeah, this deck looks bonkers strong. Like, we don't even have all the cards, but we're still kind of dumpstering this Olympia, which is, like, maybe not a great matchup for them, but, like, still feels like it should be less close, or still feels like it should be closer than it currently is. So let's go ahead and play out the reduce here. Just kind of stave off a little bit of the damage. But they are going to get the bluff catcher here, which is definitely, like, we're not out of the woods yet here, I think. Definitely have, like, a pretty good series of cards on us here. So I think the play, since we are Viserai, we can give the first card with Blood Debt each turn go again. So we give the open the gate to Earth, they'll go again, and we play it out by using the gate here. So we do this, do the buff, and then this makes a new gate, which allows us to flip back into the base Viserai. And then I guess we might as well just like play out the Malefic now. We could also like, is it better or worse to actually play out the Malefic? Because we could also just swing Sevenson at the end of this, which maybe eats more cards from hand. Let's actually go, let's do the gate first, I guess, and just kind of see what they do. All right, but we'll activate our gate. So that will allow us to play the open the gate to Irithel. So we're coming in for functionally 9 here with a rune chain on the back, and then we can like swing the Nebula afterwards. This deck seems like so strong. I don't know. This is like kind of a busted deck a little bit. But yeah, Rose, it's been going pretty well. Also, hello, John. Glad Bun is now hanging out with you. But yeah, again, shout out to hold on, I'm gonna try to put their username. Maybe not, but shout out. I'm gonna shout out this person in chat who gave me the original deck list idea. It's I believe this is their username. Wellen O Purple. But yeah, they're the original kind of creator of this like mono red Viserai shell. That's like kind of like this early thing. I just kind of did like a riff off of it. But yeah, original inspiration was from that list. Okay, so we hit, we make another gate here, which is maybe like overkill at this point, but should still be good. And then we're sending another 4 here, so we at least strip 1 more card out of hand. I think that's probably worth. Definitely think we want to flip into base Viserai here, just so we can try to get a little bit more of that value kind of going. Because I do think we get the choice, right? If you may traverse, so you actually have the choice to actually leave this mode if you want to. Whereas the front side, you don't actually get a choice, which is kind of interesting.
I think there's like a healthy balance of flipping back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know if we're quite at that balance yet, but I do think that we'll figure it out kind of as the hero gets a little bit more refined. Okay, we got a little bit of a clunker of a hand here. This is, like, not ideal, I feel like. It's definitely a Runeblade hand. God, we were drawing so hot earlier. But this hand is definitely making me a little sad. Maybe we shouldn't have flipped. Maybe that was the issue here. This 10 overpower is actually kind of scary. Actually, all hope is not lost just yet, though. Could actually just, like, kind of give them the fridge and maybe do something like this. God, the overpower is so annoying. I guess we couldn't have, like, Purgatoried anyways, but I kind of want to just, like, block with this hand more than anything. So what is our next turn? We do, like, Grass, pitching the Widespread. Hope to hit something off the top. If we hit something good off the top, maybe we, like, Sloth. and then do something else. I don't know. Hand is a little suspect. God,
Man, Art of War.
oh, we're doing so good until this hand. Unfortunate. Overpower is a good keyword. Worst dominate is still better than not having worst dominate. It's true. All right, let's go ahead and start. Oh, actually, hold on. There's maybe... Hold on. Let's actually play out the Rune Chant of Sloth end of turn. Because I think we actually want to turn this into a Rune Chant so that we can flip into the other Viserai. Because we can flip actually off the Malefic, and this making a Rune Chant basically at the start of our turn. So I think this is the line. Okay, so this makes a Rune Chant, this makes a Rune Chant, Grasp makes a Rune Chant. Oh, but Grasp also, we need to pitch one extra. Which is fine. I think that's still okay.
They should unban Art of War for this deck. Really let people complain.
That would be fun.
That would rock.
I support unbanning Art of War.
Reprint Zen, unban Art of War.
Reprint Zen, unban Art of War. True. Alright, so this hand's gonna get a little awkward, but I think we can make it work. So we're gonna get 3 rolls off the Rune Chants here, and if we hit something good, definitely could close out the game here. Alright, let's see what we hit. Alright, Pull from Beyond, not gonna cut it. Alright, so I think we're gonna hold on to the Open the Gate. Because this only cares about the Shadow card, I guess, right? And I guess this gives us the option to flip back, which is kind of weird. Once we get like an excuse to actually use these gates to Earthal, it's going to be so much better. Okay, Shadow of Urzer. Interesting. That doesn't actually help us just yet, right? Because we can play this, but this is already going to get Gogan from the Malefic. And the issue is we can't play this out of Banish if we use the Urzer. So I think we're just saving the Urzer for a turn. So we're going to flip, and then this is going to get Go again. I believe. But the Gogan's actually not going to matter. Oh, he hit a Colt! No, the Gogan does definitely matter here. Okay, actually, we're fine, I think. So the Gogan can actually either let us play the Shadow Verso just for a 0 for 2, or we can actually play out the Colt. It's very exciting. Are the gates the new what's the payoff for the gold? I think like right now they are, because we like don't know how often you're going to be able to use the gates. Like it definitely feels like you're supposed to be using these like a little bit more frequently, like once we get the full card pool and everything. Specifically for cards like I kind of can imagine like cards like Shadowrun Reaper making more of an appearance, but this card's so hard to play if you don't get the gates going, which is why I kind of have it in the maybe board or like the sideboard for now. All right, looks like they're going to play a Golden Company. Should be fine for us. And now you have the choice to either end on a call or do Shadow Verser. I think we just like want to end on call here. We'll take like 1 Blood Debt from the Shadow, but Shadow's like a really good card to have in Banish for next turn because it lets us like potentially use the gates as well. I think we're kind of cooking something here. Serious question, when did you decide to be a badass? I was born a badass. That's the real answer. I don't know. If maybe I'm a badass for like hitting cards off the top. And if that's the case, then maybe is when I started playing Zen. Okay, Golden Grail coming in for a humble 3, no wager. Terrifying. So we can actually pitch to I here. There's a couple awkward things about this hand. This hand is really awkward because the Sin Speaker... Well, the Sin Speaker can, like, we can do the Shadow Averser, play this out. But how does the Eye of Ophidia come into play? Oh, the Eye can do Grasp plus 7 Sin, right? So I think we just block with the Painful Passage. I think, and then we shouldn't die, hopefully. Fingers crossed, hopefully. I'd be very surprised if they could deal 8 over the top here. But stranger things, I guess, have happened.
That's an epic reference.
You can Painful Passage the Sin Speaker. So my idea was to give the Sin Speaker Go again. I guess it already has Go again. Wait, hold on. Did we maybe fuck this up? Hold on. Should I use the Painful Passage? Hold on. Wait, is Painful Passage just better? So it already has Gogan from Usurper. Right, so we should actually just do this instead. We block with the shadow instead because this one is more useful in our hand because we can give it the +3. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry. I forgot about that, Darkodius. Thank you for reminding me. It's still good, though. Yeah, really disgusting turn here. So this already has go again, so we don't have to worry about that. I guess we just, like, don't bother playing the Urzer just yet. We can just, like, Painful Passage, put the Gloom Blade into the Banish, and then play it. Buff. Play Sin Speaker. Never apologize to Noah, it feeds him. It's true. Alright, so we get a rune chant here, but we don't really have, like... I think we're just going to make a rune chant for the sake of making a rune chant, unless we ran out, which I think we still have a couple of them in the deck. We do have to be a little bit careful about fatigue at this point, but I think we should just try to hopefully kill them this turn, if not next turn. So we should still be kind of cooking here. So we get to go, like, 7 damage into Grasp, 7 Sin. So, like, 11 value turn. Not too bad. And then we can go ahead and just Grasp here. The funny thing about the Urzer is we can actually play it off the top here if we want to. I guess we'll, like, go ahead and bottom... Let's keep the Arcanite Shard. Arcanite Shard seems kind of, like, reasonable at this point in the game. Oh, shit, wait. Oh, I might have... Hold on, I fucked up. We shouldn't have, Hold on, we shouldn't have searched. I guess, no, this is still fine. We just can't make a rune chant. So we can still, like... we're gonna have... So the Grasp actually counts the rune chant of Greed, which is awkward here. So it's gonna bottom the Fate, and then we'll keep the Arcanite Shard on top. Oh, we can Grasp in Shadow, too. Is Grasp in Shadow better, though? Because then we have to, like, use... So the Shadow doesn't get go again, is the only issue, right? It's like 2 and 1. I don't think that's, like, a bad play. Ooh, this hand's awkward. Oh, no. Okay, this is fine, I think. Surely this is fine. So we can actually flip back. Why would it need go again? Because it would be 1 and 2, right? They're at 3, so that doesn't kill them. Like, I want to hold on to the Shadow just in case we can, like, potentially go for a kill here. Alright, so we don't, unfortunately, have anything. We can actually just, like, gate for value here. It would be 2 and 2. How would it be 2 and 2? Because 2 rune chants? Wait, what am I... Oh, because you make a rune chant here. Well, the rune chant of Greed doesn't count as a... at the beginning of your action phase or when you play it. So you destroy this, but this doesn't actually send rune chant damage. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, it does not.
So it'd only be 1 and 2. Which is still also, like, not enough. Let's go ahead and just do some stuff here. So we can play the Shadow Verser just for go again and finish on 7 Sin. I think this is still fine. Hopefully maybe catch them in a hand with that doesn't have, like, a ton of blues in it. But yeah, let's go ahead and just try to send the Urzer here. And because we were playing a card out of Banish, we can still... Actually, hold on. Let me gate here first, actually. Let's gate so we can play the Urzer, so that way we actually get the ability to potentially flip back if we want to, which is, like, a little suspect given our deck. But could still be fine. Oh, they don't have blue in hand, it looks like. That's really good for us. So the rune chance might be potentially threatening lethal here. Okay, this still ends up being really good because I think we just caught him on a hand that doesn't have any blues in it. Which is very lucky for me, I feel like. So now we can 7 Sin Arsenal the rune chant, and then we flip back into base Viserai. Seems pretty good still. Alright, so clear their hand again, and then potentially just set up for a pretty solid next turn. It definitely feels like we're missing a couple cards to, like, make this a little bit more consistent, but it does feel like we're doing something very strong. Okay, I think this works out. think we're like 40% to get fatigued here. I think we can do it. We also haven't seen a bunch of our like become the Shadow Lords, which I think are pretty impactful here. So let's go and become the Shadow Lord. So we can banish this widespread, potentially give it a go, and the Deadwood Dirge will actually let us like flip back into normal Viserai, which is pretty cool. So we managed to become the Shadow Lord. Let's go and pull from beyond here. Just kind of take a look and see if we can maybe sculpt the top of our deck. Oh, we actually, hold on. We might not want to do that, actually. We might want to just YOLO so we can keep this to pitch to the 7-sin. Maybe that's better, actually. We can Dirge potentially, like, one of our gates here. So we Dirge the gate. We flip. Now we get... Oh, we drew a Demon-Bound Gloomblade. How does that help us? Does it help us, I guess, is a better question. So we give the widespread go again. I think this is still fine. We get to like follow up with the 7-sin. I think we win here. Yeah, I don't think we want to pull Darko. Yeah, I think you got it, Darkodius. I think we don't pull so that we can just like hold the red in hand. But pretty solid stuff. I mean, like, there's definitely some hands where you like can kind of feel where the good cards are supposed to be, but like it kind of does actually function. And the fact that we can actually like kind of dumpster in Olympia, which is like a newly released hero that just like
not newly released,
or not newly released, but like newly supported hero, I guess is maybe a better way to phrase it. That's like pretty solid, I think, in the meta. The fact that we can like kind of get over the top there is like pretty indicative of how strong I think the hero is. All right, pretty solid first one. Let's go ahead and see if we can get another. It was like a long game, but yeah, I think the deck is like kind of sick. The 1x multiplier hero. Kind of true. All right, are we playing against Nate? Oh god. All right, this is gonna be scary. So let's go ahead and bring in our Husk here, and then we'll also bring in our D-React suite. Okay, so Nate might get me here, but I've historically actually had a decent amount of success into Marlin. So what do we want to do here? I think the Revels still seem fine. Maybe we cut the cute stuff like maybe like one Revel. I think what else you want to cut? Maybe the Corrupting Conquerors are also like a little too cute. I'm trying to think of like what other card we want to cut here. Maybe the Pull from Beyonds are also like a little suspect. Maybe we just like go down on the gate package and just kind of run more D-Reacts. I think that seems reasonable. Okay, funny opener. Sure. Interesting. Play invert to beat Codex. Nate kicks my ass every time. Okay, fair enough. Let's go ahead and just like pitch to Grasp here. We can hold back both of these. Oh, we got a Shadow Razor off the top. That's also kind of disgusting. All right, so we'll see how good Nate's opener is here. But pretty strong start for us, at least. And we draw the hand with a million D-Reacts, which also feels really good. All right, King Kraken, sure. So we currently don't have any non-attack in hand. That being said, I do still want to try to deny the gold on hit here, because denying gold is still just very powerful. So the question is, like, how much do I want to block here? Could just block, like, 8-ish. I think 8 block here is, like, kind of reasonable. Does Viserai also work on your turn? Whenever you create one or more Rune Chance, banish the top card of your deck. So I think it does still work off these reduces. And then the question is... Oh, we should have actually maybe faded first if we wanted to, like, play that out. But maybe it's fine to just double reduce. Okay, this seems like kind of okay. Getting the gold actually also might be kind of disgusting. But I kind of want to just try to brick Nate here is kind of like the game plan. So I just play the Runechant Arsenal and pass here. But where is your token overcrowded? We could actually be running overcrowded in this deck. I don't think that's like crazy unreasonable. Alright, the King Shark Harpoon is here. But no overpower is good for us. I do still want to like kind of block out the gold here, but maybe we just don't care about this because we do have like a pretty decent turn lined up here. Maybe we'll just give him a Fate Foreseen and just kind of give him 1 gold. I think that's kind of reasonable. Ooh, call off the top could be pretty nasty. So we'll leave that one there. And now I think we have like a really good turn here. And then we'll show Nate, I guess, just a Rune Chain of Sloth. The only awkward thing might be this Otherworldly Sins. Okay, we draw the Shadow, or we draw the Coal off the top. That's pretty good. So now we want to, I think, play out this Rune Chain of Sloth. Not Rune Chain of Sloth, Rune Chain of Sloth, rather, and then just usurp it.
I love sloth.
I, too, love Slop. Oh, hit a Widespread? Nasty. Potentially really good here. All the D reacts are on the top. It's kind of true. We also have the best D react of all, which is the Carrion Husk here. It should be very exciting.
You got so excited when you realized you could play a Carrion Husk the other day.
Yeah, Carrion Husk
Like,
is so
"Ooh."
gross. Okay, so now we can potentially Widespread here. So how many Rune Chants have we made this turn? How many do we make? I think we've only made 1 this turn, if I'm not mistaken. So we wouldn't flip. I think we still like do this though. Or no, we do flip. Okay, flipping is actually really good for us. So now, oh, but Viserai doesn't give the it won't give this go again because I think it's only the first card with Shadow we play each turn. So this won't get go.
Blood deck card.
First Blood deck card. So we already played a Blood deck card, unfortunately.
You have Snappies though.
I do have Snappies, but Snappies don't work on the Widespread. We could just like Cull here though. I think Cull is like reasonable. Alright, looks like Nate's just gonna go ahead and pass back here. Seems good. Oh, and we draw this hand. Okay. When attack usurps us, draw a card. Can potentially just like Deadwood Dirge here. Interesting hand. No, maybe this is fine. We can like Deadwood. We can't Deadwood Dirge gold, can we? Destroy an aura? No. It's not a legal play. Could also just like grass the Rune Chant here and then Dirge the other Rune Chant. Then we like play out the Widespread and maybe Revel, pitch a Revel to the 7-sin. You're fine, this hand is nuts. Yeah, hand seems pretty good. Seems alright. I think I played that right? We just like make a Rune Chant. Get to Revel on the back. Seems solid. Wait, can we double Revel? Wait, how do we double Revel? Can double Revel Shadow? Oh, play out the Shadow. I don't know if I want to double Revel, though, because I feel like having access to Shadow Verser is, like, really powerful just for just, like, unbricking. Yeah, we don't have Creepers. We're running Snappies. So it's a little different. I think this still, like, kind of works out. So now we can actually go... So Shadow Verser already has Go Against, so that's not super good. We could actually just become the Shadow Lore here, which will actually make a gate and let us flip. Let's grab the Bounding Demigon into the Banish, and now this will get Go again. And then we can use, like, Shadow Verser to also give Go again this turn. So hand seems really good. Wait, how do we double Revel there, Darkodius? I don't know if I saw that line. Because I think we needed to make a Rune Chant to actually do the Widespread that one turn. Sorry, maybe I missed that line. Maybe there was a line to double Revel. If someone can explain in chat, let me know. But now we can do Shadow of Urzer, banish the Gloomblade. Do we even want to banish the Gloomblade? It's like still good, I think. Send in for a little extra 2 here. And then we can either play the Ravel or we can play the 7-sin. I guess 7-sin like is still like kind of 4 damage. I don't know. But the issue with using Shadow is that then I don't get access to Shadow on like a future turn. And I feel like Shadow helps you like unbrick a lot of your hands, kind of like Golden Marlin, right? Like it feels like it's just a kind of get out of jail free card if you draw a card like Widespread Destruction, which you like really need to banish. I don't know if I like the double Rebel play because it like forces you to use the Shadow Verser, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. All right, big harpoon coming in for Nate here. All right, 16, not too bad. He was afraid to hook it though, which probably bodes well for us. So I think here we're just going to take a little bit of an off turn. We can actually discard the Runic Reaving to get around the King Shark Harpoon here, which is pretty impactful. We just need to make sure that our Carrion Husk doesn't like go away, which is a little bit hard to navigate here. So we could potentially just like give up the Husk here. Okay, so how much are we taking actually if we don't use Husk? So we give the Widespread. Oh, we actually... So this is a discard, though, so it doesn't go to banish. It's unfortunate. Kind of an interesting one. The promo Ravenous Rebel fits so well. They can never hook while Husk is up. That's true. Alright, so... sorry, bear with me, Nate. I'm just kind of thinking. Okay, so we're taking 13 here. That puts us down to 15, which allows us to potentially use Husk next turn, assuming that we cleared the Blood Debt. So, like, maybe the safe play is to, like, give the Grasp here so that we don't run the risk of, like, getting too low. Because we need to make sure we're at 13 to actually, like, use the Husk. Otherwise, that gets a bit worse. Sorry, whoops. We discard the Reaving here and then show Nate nothing, I think is the plan. Alright, so now we have the choice between Cull and the Otherworldly, which he cannot banish either of them. I think we have a pretty decent turn lined up here. So, how do we make this work? We can play the Otherworldly Sins, do the Sin Speaker Gloomblade. And then how many rune chants though? They'll just make one rune chant. There's nothing else we can really play with the Gate to Irithal here. I'm trying to think if there's a world where we want to Cull, but Cull means that we banish the Otherworldly Sins, which I think is not ideal. Let's go and do this here. Oh, we hit a Widespread off the top. Disgusting. Maybe we just play that instead. Or no, I guess Nate doesn't have an arsenal. But maybe it's still good enough. Maybe we just send 12. I think that seems reasonable. Just YOLOing Widespread off the top is so disgusting. Oh my god. What a deck. Incredible fucking design work here. Holy. I actually do think the design is really cool here, for what it's worth. But just hitting like 6... Or how much damage was that off the top? Like an additional 6 damage or something off the top is kind of nutty. 6 damage with an on hit is kind of disgusting. Ooh, 3 oak, okay. It's definitely scaring me here. Alright, this might put us into a little bit of trouble here. So you have to give the Husk, probably give Face Purgatory here, and then maybe give Nate the choice between one of these two. The issue is the Widespread's like not even good. Yeah, this could definitely be kind of a scary turn. I guess we do have like the Rune Chant of Greed line here, so maybe we just take 6 on this. It's like drawing CNC for free mid-turn. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to go down to 9 here, and Nate's finally kind of broken through the armor. Little bit scary, but I think Nate probably ends up taking the Gloomblade. I don't know if it matters actually here. It's kind of an interesting decision. I think we might just like end up pitching one of these anyways. But we'll see. Alright, so now the Husk is like damaging us, which is really scary. So I think what we have to do... this gets really weird. So the Painful Passage doesn't actually do very much here, which is the unfortunate part. So we could like play the Sin Speaker with the Rune Chant of Greed and just try to YOLO with snaps and just try to draw something like nuts off the top. Maybe that's the line here. So we do still have the snaps available to us. Alright, ooh, you're a Rune Chant of Sloth. Does that help us? We do, I guess, get to search for the last Rune Chant in the deck. And then we can, like, snap this, I guess, give it go again. But I don't know... What are we doing with the go again? We could also just, like, play out the widespread. It's, like, not a bad line. Oh, wait, did we just, like, hit another Gloomblade off the top and I didn't realize? Or do we have that? No, I think we hit that. Wait, did we hit that off the top? I'm 95% sure we just hit this off the top,
I think so.
Which is actually insane because that means that we just get to go
Rune Chant Sloth time.
Yeah, Rune Chant Sloth time. Which one? I guess we sacrificed the one that gives us go again here. Disgusting. Oh, we can play Sloth, Painful, Widespread. Oh wait, can we Painful, Widespread? Hold on. Do we have the resources for everything? Oh, we hit a open the gate to Urethel off the top. That's also kind of disgusting. Maybe I mis-sequence. Did I mis-sequence this turn? Hold on. Oh, because the Rune Chants also discount this. Oh, maybe I messed up here. Because now we only have 2 and we can't Painful this, but I guess we still get to Sword. I might have messed this up. That's okay, though. Or no, oh, we don't get to search. We don't have any Rune Chants to search, though. I think we've used all our Rune Chants. Oh, I might have missequenced that. That's my bad. Alright, so we declined the search. I think this is still fine here, though. Like, Nate's basically giving us the entire hand. It's okay, no one is perfect at Fab, except me, of course. Naturally. Playing a new hero for the first time is definitely a bit tougher.
You can pitch something to, like, a gate to swing, open the gate to their owl, or whatever.
Yeah, I could actually just send that.
That might be better.
And then just Arsenal the Passage. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, pitch Widespread to a gate to fucking play that shit.
Yeah. Just annoying breakpoints. This hero's... Okay, it's like, I'm piloting this bad, but this hero is, like, actually cracked. I think that's the important part we have to establish here.
This might just kill Nate.
Yeah. Okay, so now we just, like, Ravenous Rabble, LOL, GG. Seems good.
All you need, you just make a Rune Chant. You don't have to do anything. He's got no EV.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh true, he doesn't have AB anymore. Ah, yes, makes sense. GG's, Nate. I think that, like, actually makes it a tough match. Like, this is an unrefined Viserai deck, and we're putting out, like, 15 value a turn. I, like, hate to see what this hero looks like when it's, like, refined. This is actually going to be kind of nasty.
Good.
Which is a good thing. I don't know. I like broken things. It's fair. I don't know. We kind of, like, I think we could have even done a little bit better. Like, but look at these, just, like, 22 value turn, 22 value turn, 15, 15. Like, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. Yeah, but we played against the worst deck in the format, not exactly real testing. I don't think Marlin's necessarily the worst deck in the format. I don't know. Kind of nasty is an understatement. Fair enough, fair enough. All right, let's see if we can get a couple more. I think this hero is, like, kind of disgusting, though. Let's be real. We can't have the Marlin slander in chat. We're a Marlin channel. Alright, we got Dawnblade Dorinthia. Maybe this is the best deck in the format. This hero is cracked. Alright, I think we just want to go first into everyone is kind of my assumption. And then I think we run Husk. The question is, what kind of Dorinthia is this? I'm kind of worried about them being, like, fatigue.
Why don't you scout it out?
Why don't I scout it out?
Yeah, why don't you do some scouting?
To be fair, this is the first well-built Viserai deck. I think that, like, other people have maybe... I think I kind of just want to run, like, the full 70 and just see what happens here. There's full 73. Yeah, fuck it. We'll play the full 73 and see what happens. I'm curious. I kind of feel like they might try to fatigue me. Which in that case, I guess we maybe run Tunic as well. I have no idea. Alright, looks like they are trying to fatigue me, so I'm glad I brought in the whole suite here. Alright, they want to enable chat. Oh, this is Darkodius. Okay, so he's playing the best deck in format. Okay, fair enough. I'm very sorry for what I'm playing into. It's okay. I kind of expected the full fatigue package. Here's a question in chat. Does anyone actually want to like see me play a fatigue game? Because if so, I will. We can like play against something more interesting. Let me know in chat. But I guess we'll play for now. But I think this could be at least an interesting exercise. So let's go ahead and pitch the Corrupt and Conquer and the Sin Speaker for maybe a little bit later in the game. Oh, you just hit a random gate to open the gate to Earthel off the top. All right, Arsenal to Revel and just kind of pass back here. All right, Darkodius is playing the best deck in the game. So we'll see how this ends up going here. All right, Dawnblade, I don't think we really care here. I just go ahead and try to block on the Dawnblade since there's not much else we're kind of doing here. I don't think I really necessarily care about giving him counters, though. I'm so excited to play Zuri with Master Attack Assassin release. Going back to an actual Assassin gameplay is going to feel so refreshing after Mario for 8 months. I think that's fair. I think a lot of people are excited for Master Attack Assassin, like, a lot more than you'd think. I think it's going to be, like, a potentially really cool set. What do I want to do here? It's kind of weird because I almost want to, like, play this Corrupt and Conquer, but I don't think it's, like, super good. Could just like play it out, see what happens, and we'll see. Okay, Iron Song, sure. So he'll get a counter, but I don't think that's really the end of the world since it looks like it's a more defensive Dorinthia deck. Alright, let's go ahead and just play out Corrupt and Conquer here and just kind of YOLO for some Rune Chant value off the top. Alright, banishing Malefic is a little unfortunate, but so it goes. Looks like we might be buying a bit of armor here. I do want to be a bit careful about our Gate to Earthel usage this game. So we are running the Shadow Realm, I forget what, Shadow Realm Reaper, so we do have to like save our gates for if we manage to banish one of those. Alright, coming in with the Dawnblade. Sure. How does this next hand work? I think the answer is we just kind of like Purgatory this. It does feel like kind of an early use of Purgatory. I think this potentially seems fine. I think we just need to make sure we buy a little bit of tempo here. Unified Decree. The defending hero is defended with a card from hand this chain link. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's an attack or action card, you may banish it. If you do, you may play it this combat chain. Okay, sure. I've not read this card in a million years, but seems alright. Okay, Iron Song from Arsenal. So we can deny the counter here just by playing out Fate Foreseen, which I think seems reasonable. Alright, let's go ahead and bottom that Murderous Rabble just so we don't banish it off the top here. And then what is the play here? So we, as an additional cost to play Shadow Verser, we can banish a card with Blood Debt, which is Invert Existence. So we can do kind of like a cheeky line here, I guess, where we just get an invert in the banish. Okay, I guess we get 2 inverts in the banish. That's maybe not ideal, but could be fine. Invert is definitely an interesting card in this matchup. Hmm. So invert is an instant, so I guess we can just like may banish a non if an attack action and a non-attack action. So we don't actually have anything to banish from them. It's all just stuff. I guess we can just like go ahead and like play one out though, just to, like get it out of banish. Banish like these two or whatever. On second thought, reading invert in existence, I don't actually think it's all that good into Dorinthia, but I suppose we're learning that firsthand. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and take a little bit of an off turn here. So we'll probably just let them like have a counter here. Looks like they're not even on Fatigue Dorinthia necessarily. It just looks like kind of normal Dawnblade, maybe with some kind of like fat deck here. We'll kind of see how this goes, but this next hand looks pretty strong, I think. I think we're kind of priced into just letting them have the counter here. Alright, Dawnblade for 6 seems good. So we need to see if we can string together like a really powerful turn here, I think is the game plan. Which I think we do kind of have lined up. It's just about sequencing here is going to be the hard part. So let's go ahead and start with Pull from Beyond. Kind of just set up the top of our deck here. And wow, those are actually two pretty good hits. So we can banish the widespread and leave like open the gates to Irithel on top, which actually will let us like flip back immediately if we want to. So that's really good. I guess the question is, how do we make enough rune chance to do everything here? So let's leave the widespread on top and banish it. And then I think we want to dirge the rune chant. Dirge the rune chant, which will then banish the gate to Irithel at the top. So we get a 4 blood debt. Little bit scary. So now we're flipped into the other Viserai, which means I guess we start with the widespread rune. Seems like it's alright here. So this will get go again. We can use snaps potentially on the other Gloomblade here and maybe like finish on a sword swing. That's kind of my thought. So let's go ahead and play the Revel out. We can then Sin Speaker. Hold on. Play the Rune Chant first. You can't actually do it in response. It's kind of a funny thing. So we usurp the Rune Chant Agreed here. Draw a card, give that go again. Or it's not going to give it go again, but we are going to just use snaps to give it go again here. So really it's kind of setting up a pretty powerful line here. Question is whether or not we're going to die beforehand, though, is like a little bit of the problem. And then we can either end on invert, or we can like... I guess we're going to like flip back anyways, right? So this is like probably fine. Okay, a little bit suspect, but I think this kind of works out. I was kind of hoping for Outsiders too, but I didn't see that happening with Master Pack Assassin coming. That's fair. So we will forsake the throne, I think, here. Maybe that was wrong. I don't know. Maybe we do want the go again because we do have like so many cards in Banish. It's like a little scary. All right, but I think we just have to kind of race here still. We're not in great shape, but I don't think we can really afford to win by blocking here. We will do our best to race a Dawnblade with a counter on it, but I have very low expectations. Alright, pitching to Brave Forge, sure. Alright, coming in 4-5. Agile engagement, sure. Alright, so going down to 6 here is really scary. But I think we're still, like, maybe in okay shape here. The invert existence is definitely not helping our case here. So let's go ahead and start, I think. So we can use our gate to play out one of these. But the problem is we also need to make like enough rune chance to stay alive here. Hmm. This is a little bit suspect, but I think we'll just like double bottom both of those. All right, hit a Runeblood incantation off the top. Not super helpful. But then I think we can just go like Grasp here. Try to YOLO for something off the top. Founding Demigod's maybe not bad. Then we can play out this Otherworldly Sins. Make another Rune Chain. Hit a Widespread off the top. Oh, okay. We're probably just dying to Blood Dead here is the real answer. But I suppose that's how it goes. Well, actually, we can activate like another gate, but I don't think that actually does very much for us. Okay, I think we just like die here. That's okay. Is there anything we could... I mean, I think the real answer is we shouldn't board in the Invert if we're doing the Fatigue plan into a deck that doesn't have attacks and non-attacks. I guess we can just like do this. I don't know. Alright, I think we died to the deck itself here. I'm kind of curious like how fatiguey this Dorinthia deck was. Maybe we should just board like kind of like a 71 card deck or something like that. Maybe that's kind of like the answer. Alright, almost certainly dying to Blood Dead here. Alright. We'll give it to Darkodius. I think he's got us here. Small Blinder. Make a Blade Dance token. Sure. Alright, he got us. Alright, let's see if we can do another one here. I think boarding out the inverts is probably like the move, though. GG's. That was a fun one. So actually, how fatiguey was this? Oh, so this wasn't even fatigued Dorinthia. This is just like normal Dorinthia, basically. Okay, so this I think we can beat if we just like board in like 71 cards. Right, I don't even know if we necessarily need to fat deck this. Maybe we just board in like a 60 game plan or something. Oh, do I enjoy playing against Oops All Reacts? I mean,
No.
I don't particularly care. But sure. I don't think we're a deck that really cares about reacts versus not reacts necessarily. Like, we're not playing Marlin, right? It's like a little bit different. Okay, playing against Goliath. So we will go first. And is there anything we want into Goliath particularly? I feel like the reduces are probably strong. Maybe the reduce should just be like main deck at this point. I think we're boarding out the cute stuff like I think we can go down on like the Pull from Beyond, the Pull from Beyonds too. And I think that also means we board out our CNCs. Where are those? Yeah, Darkodius, I don't really know why the reacts necessarily matter there. It more so we were just like dying to our own deck more than anything. It kind of felt like you just want Unified Will to work. It was pretty alright that game, I feel like. Alright. Let's go ahead and run a clean 60 into the Goliath here and see how it goes. Ooh, we get to start with the Become the Shadow Lord. This card is like kind of bonkers strong. Very, very good card. Yeah, Unified Will seems pretty cool. I don't know. I don't think we're like a deck that has like a bunch of overpower or anything, so like we don't care about the cards necessarily being reactions. It's just kind of whatever. But this is a really good opening turn for us, as long as they don't have like an aura or something to play out here. We'll kind of see how it goes. Alright, no aura to start us off is very good. Kind of surprised they didn't even like lie up there or something. Oh, just playing 2 steps ahead. Wait, what? They definitely could have... They definitely could have played out the edge of their seats that turn, but they just chose not to. Okay. Fair enough. We are all learning the game. It takes... I mean, like, I think it's like a non-obvious thing if you've like not played like a bunch of the new Guardians or whatever. But I will take whatever value I guess we can get. Maybe we just assume that we can assume from this point maybe they wanted to like draw it, or like assuming that we didn't know that our opponent like kept a 5 card hand, we can assume that they just didn't draw it on the opener or something. If they did like filter or whatever. Okay, so what are we doing now? So we have the Runic Reaving, which is good for rune chant purposes. We can't banish it to Shadow Berser. We can banish the Demon Bound Gloomblade though. So that's pretty good. Now, we don't really have a ton of rune chant generation here. I guess maybe we just like start with the Urzer first anyways here. I think I see a line here, but you'll have to bear with me for a second. So we play the Urza, we banish the Demon-bound Gloomblade. And we kind of tried this out, I think. So my plan is to like discard the Reaving here to make another rune chant so we can sack it to this Gloomblade, and then we can like snaps, potentially swing the 7-Sin Nebula here. Seems like a decent line. And then we play the Runic Reaving out using the ability. Alright, get a... Oh, we flip into a Widespread. That's kind of nasty. That is really good for us. So now we do 5 into 3 here is kind of the plan. Alright, let's go ahead and snaps this. Could get punished by like a leave them hanging here. But we'll kind of have to see. I think this still kind of works out pretty well though. Actually, this is probably a matchup where we also want to run Carrion Husk. I kind of just forgot about that. Don't forget your Husk. So you get to go 3 here, make a Rune Chant. Oh, I guess Rune Chant will flip us, though. Huh. Is that bad for us? Maybe that's fine for us, because we already have, like, stuff we want to play out. I think this is okay. Kind of a cracked next hand as well, which is really good. Ooh, Battered, Beaten, and Broken is scary, though. And this is a destroy effect, so this will not, like, banish the card. Alright, so they're going to destroy our Sin Speaker Gloomblade, which I guess we can technically prevent, or we can at least threaten to prevent here if we want to give, like, Face Purgatory plus Reduce. It's a little tempting. Could also just, like, throw cards under it. Like, we can even give them an extra 3 to play around the Razor. I feel like this is, like, kind of face up, but kind of reasonable. I don't know if we want to give Tunic, though. Like, we could just hedge for the Razor Reflex, which I think is smart here. But it does definitely feel bad, because, like, we kind of know that they're gonna do it, right? If they have it, right? Could also just, like, ignore this, which I think is also kind of reasonable. Let them have the Gloomblade. We don't get to get value out of the Rune Chant of Greed that turn, but it's still fine. I think we just, like, I'll let this happen maybe is better. Interesting. Alright, so go to 29. They get the Sin Speaker Gloomblade, which is definitely, like, bad for us, but not that bad, I guess. Oh, another Battered, Beaten, Broken. Okay, fair enough. So I feel like for this one, what we don't want to do is maybe just throw armor in front of it or something. I don't know. So I don't know if we can necessarily afford to play around the Reflex in this position. It's kind of interesting. Because I want to, like, save Purgatory for a turn where we can, like, get the value out of it. So maybe we're fine with this. It's, like, a little bit weird, but if they have the Razor, I think they have the Razor, and that's just okay. Pixel unmute. Oh, did I, like, mute myself somehow? Can people still hear me in chat? Hold on, let me check OBS real quick. Testing. Okay, cool. Sorry, I think people can hear me. Hopefully. Alright, just lie at things, sure. Huh, interesting. Alright, so we can start the turn with the Widespread here. Oh no, it's an inside joke. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Not privy to the inside jokes of chat. Okay, let's start with the Widespread Destruction here, or the Widespread Ruin, rather. A little bit worse than Widespread Destruction, but still a-okay here. 6 go again, pretty solid. Okay, cool. As long as everyone in chat can hear. Ooh, two-faced. Do I care about the two-faced here? Our hand's like pretty whatever. I don't think I care. Ruined my hand. Do your best. I don't even know what the correct take in is this hand. Like, maybe it's just Ravenous Rebel, but like, I don't think we care all that much. We like lose 4 go again, but we kind of can still send damage anyways. I don't know. They're taking the Rune Chant of Greed. Interesting. Huh. I feel like Rabble was probably the correct choice there, but I'm not going to question it, I guess. Because now we just get to send an extra, like, 6 on the back. Seems pretty good. What we could also do is, like, Grasp here and then just, like, swing 7 Sin Nebula, which is also fine. We do still need to play, like, a non-attack to get the Bounding Demigod out. So we either get to send up to 5 here, or we just get to, like, send the Widespread, but we don't get to keep an Arsenal. Kind of curious what the better line is here. I feel like maybe just sending Widespread for damage makes more sense. I feel like Widespread's not, like, a particularly good Arsenal. But we'll go ahead and see here. Alright, so coming in for 6, so now both the Widespreads are potentially live. So, oh, sorry, we didn't lose life, so we actually don't get to banish. I forgot that's how Widespread worked. It would be a lot better if we actually lost life that turn, but that's okay. I guess that's a reason maybe to include a Soul of Existence in the deck or whatever. Be one way to kind of lose life, at least on our turn. And see what they got here. They do have that Confidence token, which is like a little annoying. Alright, big Escalate Violence. 18, holy. Okay, is there anything we can do here? So the issue with the Bounding Demigons that we have is that we don't actually have the non-attack to play them out yet. Which is a little bit of like the Rune Blade hands, I guess. I guess we could try to... Like, there's some world where we try, like, Shadowverse or maybe just do something there, but I don't think that's super compelling. I guess what we could do is actually play out, like, gate 2 Earthel to play out the Bounding Demigon, because that will allow us to play it, right? And then that will allow us to flip back into normal Viserai and then keep this Rune Chain in Arsenal. I think I like this. It's like a little bit of a weird line, but I think this seems fine. And it also leaves us Face Purgatory still, which I think is pretty powerful. Alright, so we'll start by activating our gate. So you can use that to flip back and then play the Bounding Demigon with Go again, and then finish on the 7 Sin Nebula, and then Arsenal the... Oh, don't play that yet, sorry. Play the Bounding for Go again. It's only 3 Go again, but there's still... Or no, is this 4? Wait, is this a bug? Wait, why is this getting +1? If you have played a non-attack action card... Oh, if you do, it gains +1. So if you play it from your banish zone, it gets +1. That's what the condition is. Okay, so it does make sense to actually give this +1. Interesting. You always have to check. Alright, so now that we've played something from banish, we can then just follow up with the 7 Sin, get a little bit of damage and maybe a Rune Chant in here. Kind of surprised to see them give the attention grabbers on the first chain link when they kind of figured we were probably going to send the sword after. But interesting. So this will allow us to flip back into base Viserai. Interesting. This deck is hard, by the way. Like, managing all the Rune Chants and also the stuff off the top does feel definitely like a lot of things to juggle, while also like talking to stream and stuff. Like, I feel like the cognitive load is definitely there, which is, I think, a promising sign. Alright, become the Shallow Lord, but no, we're kind of drawing like some weird Runeblade hands here. Alright, unfortunately they're going to hit us with a cut along story short, so I don't think there's a way that we can necessarily do much here other than just kind of block out. We can block out and play the Rune Chant, though. I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world. So not too, I mean, could be worse. We're gonna give them basically 5-card hand, but no aura setup. So I think we're still kind of chilling here. I do want like some excuse to activate the base Purgatory this game though. Maybe I've been like overvaluing the Purgatory, but I do think it's still worth trying to keep around. I don't know. Alright, hope the rune chant off the top is good to us. Let's see. Alright, reduced rune chant, fine. Unfortunately, losing the gamble, but that's okay. Looks like their mage is going to take a little bit of an off turn here, which is probably exactly what we need to kind of close out the game here. I still think this deck is like kind of nasty though. Alright, so we got the Runic Green. Oh, okay, this hand is really good, I think. We can even potentially Purgatory them depending on what they choose to do here. Alright, if it's just the Maul, though, I'm probably not going to try to go for Purgatory. Could call them. That is an option. Whenever this is banished, when there is hits or is banished from hand or deck, create a gate to Irithyll. So the question is, do we want to actually banish... I feel like we'd rather banish the Sin Speaker, because that will give us like another rune chant to usurp. And how many rune chants do we have left? We still have 2 of the Sloth ones, which is actually really good for the Runic Grieving here. So I think we can call the Gloom Speaker, the Gloom Blade into the deck and maybe just try to get the last card from their hand. Let's see here. Alright, so we'll go for the Cull. Banish the Gloom Blade. They banish a power play, which is maybe what they want to try to just set an arsenal. Can I close the game? Makes sense to me. So we don't get to open the gate to Irithyll potentially this turn, but it should still be a really decent one. So we start with the Rune Chain of Sloth. And then we get to play the Gloom Blade to tutor for another, potentially another Rune Chain here. So we usurp this one. Give it go again, and then we can hopefully use it on... Oh, we hit a Cull off the top, also nasty. Another Cull is pretty good. But we'll see what they got here. Alright, search for Rune Chant. We'll grab a Rune Chant of Sloth. That will allow us to play the Runic Grieving next Chain Link, which will also have go again. So we get basically like another 0 for 6 go again, which is pretty sweet. So now we play the Reaving, attack, sack the Sloth, and then we still get to, I think, gamble with another Rune Chant here. Wait, did we just hit another Cull off the top? Oh god, this hero is so broken. Okay, I love it. Sure. That's pretty good. Is hitting 2 Cull off the top good in Viserai? I've heard it's okay. So now we open the gate to Irithyll? I guess so. We're just like pushing damage at this point. I guess we should have called first, though, maybe, because now we give them like the opportunity to block, which is bad. I guess I still just want to like double call them here, kind of regardless of what they do, or at least single call them. Huh? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't actually matter here, because we still kind of just get to brick their hand. I guess we like the correct play is maybe do those first. I don't know. The double Cull is definitely interesting. And they didn't want to AB either, so it means that it can't really... Yeah, I think like regardless of whether we play the Cull, like whether we play the Culls before or after, we're still just kind of ripping their hand apart so they can't kill us next turn. Seems pretty good. So, Cull. Show me what you got. I guess we should have let the first one resolve, but it's fine. $80 turn. Makes sense, makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a Cole reprint. Card's pretty good. Seems like it might be good. Unless there's like an explicit reason to not run in Viserai, which I don't know why you
no
wouldn't.
good reason to not run into Viserai.
Could this set see a cold foil Cole? Maybe. I don't know. Alright, looks like they're just gonna maul here. Sure. Fortunately, our reduce is not online, but that's fine. Kind of figure out some way to kind of close out the game here. But we can maybe just like pull Tunic, play reduce. We have some options here. I feel like the options kind of involve gambling though. Could also just like block out, which I think is reasonable. Like, what if we just blocked like this? Block with grasp. Keep the reduce in arsenal. We don't try to win next turn. I think that's like kind of reasonable because I don't. These cards don't excite me very much. So we don't have a blood deck card to banish to shadow. I think we're just chilling. Like, we're not gonna die next turn, I don't think, right? So maybe the answer is actually we do like this. Maybe we still Purgatory anyways. I don't know. Could let them have a might, but that's like a little suspect. This is fine, I think. I think I've decided that this is okay. Alright, drawing the other D-React was a little unfortunate, but that is okay. I think we're just gonna like play out the Sloth end of turn to try to gamble on. No, I don't. Sorry, we're gonna just grasp next turn. Okay, this is fine. I'm trying to like navigate this turn because it's like kind of a brick turn, but we should have enough gas to still like close out the game here anyway. So I'm kind of trying to take the line that like bricks us the least, I guess, is maybe the answer. I don't know. Feels definitely a little bit weird though. All right, so let's go and pull Tunic, and then like just pitch. I think the Fate here, just so we can like set up some rune chance and maybe hit something and banish. All right, Deadwood Dirge is fine. We are getting a little bit low on deck, so we do have to be kind of careful about fatigue. But I kind of want to go and just make sure we're winning like the damage race first. So we'll play out the rune chant, and then maybe they have like some aura they want to play out end of turn. We do still have to worry about the leave them hangings though. Those might end up being a little bit backbreaking here. We're definitely doing so. Like, this deck is so strong. This deck is so strong, like, before we actually get the cards. Like, this feels just like a very... Like, it's clunky, but, like, you see the vision, right? Where it's like, you just, like, make these gates, you kind of bounce between, like, the front side and the back side, and then you kind of just, like, outvalue your opponent, like super hard. It's very, very cool. Alright, walk in my shoes. I think we can just ignore this, right? I guess we, like, block with grasp, and then reduce to enchant. Yeah, this hand's nuts. Better than Malice, that's for sure. Alright, so I think we just chill on this. Alright, so this is kind of like the hand I wanted to like actually try to convert. My girl is out here on the struggle bus. I think she's like getting more cards for sure though. Like, it's kind of too early to say. But my prediction is probably that Malice is maybe going to be the weakest of the heroes, but someone clip that and then like remind me in like 3 months. And then if it turns out that she's like the strongest, then I'll do a public apology. But that's just like my brain thought right now. Is that I think Malice seems like maybe she's like the one that struggles the most, but it's kind of hard to say. Okay, so we can become the Shadow Lord for the widespread here, or the Gloomblade if they do go for like a leave them hanging here. If they go for double, then that gets a little scary. All right, single we can beat. Do they have the second one though? All right, they hit the widespread, which is unfortunate, but that's still not necessarily a fail case here. All right, Viserai, trigger. And then, what do we want to do here? So we still have one float, so we can potentially like activate the gate here. But we do also want to flip, which is the weird part. I think flipping is just better, right? Almost assuredly. We should just try to send a bunch of damage here. I guess we'll banish one of our random gates. Using the gates to banish the Deadwood Dirge is also... Oh, okay, we just hit a widespread anyways. Okay, I guess we'll just win the game. Sounds good. Oh god, this deck is so goofy. Oh, I love it. This is so much fun though. Like it's been so long since we've had like a truly busted Fab hero, and I feel like this is gonna be like the one. Just like getting oh my god, getting like 6 damage with an on hit off the top is just like so disgusting. It's not even on hit, it's like an on damage, which is like way better. Oh my god, this hero is like so fucking disgusting. I shouldn't swear. I shouldn't swear, but it's really good.
You're gonna get us demonetized, dude.
I'm gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, that's for sure.
This is like kind of hilarious though. I don't know. Just like hitting, like that's why the front side is so powerful, is because you just like hit random cards. Like they're both sides are very, very strong. Like they mentioned the BR after Omens that their approach hero design with the idea of having a hero who players can grow with, aka bad at first but gets trickled support. I think that's Malice and IR. I think that like kind of follows their model, right? Like Marlin was kind of the hero. Also, let me make sure I'm like switching screens on OBS. Sorry about that. I think like Marlin was probably the hero in High Seas for that. For Super Slam, I think it was like Tough Nut and Lyeth. I guess like most of the heroes in Super Slam.
Hero in Super Slam.
Yeah, maybe every hero in Super Slam realistically. Live your truth. We need to know how you really feel about Viz. I think this hero is like kind of broken. It's my opinion. All right. I don't want to do the Viserai mirror if I'm being honest. The Viserai mirror seems kind of lame, but we can try it. What do we want in the Viserai mirror? Probably reduce seems pretty alright. And I think we just cut the cute stuff kind of like how we've been doing, like maybe the Pulvermeons. Let's leave an Eye of Ophidia, because Eye of Ophidia is just kind of sweet. The run Carrion Husk, I think, is also kind of reasonable. Notably, we do not have a B. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to come back to bite us, but we can actually like probably bring in AB in the sideboard, so maybe that's on the to-do list, I guess. Oh, they're doing like a fatigue Viserai. Okay, this might be scary. Interesting. Well, let's hope our aggro Viserai can maybe just beat the 72 card Viserai pile over here. Have we seen the strongest allies in Malice? I want to see a the chain zombie. Could be the case.
Malice is gonna get something nasty the way Gravy Bombs
Become
did.
the Arknight.
Like almost for sure.
Is Become the Arknight good? I guess you can tutor for Become the Shadow Lord. That's kind of funny. Sure. Okay, I kind of see the vision there, and they're running Feasting Carcass as well. Huh. Want to help me brew Malice? Tegan want to help me brew Malice. We can brew some Malice.
Yeah. At when there's more cards, like I don't want to do it right now. There's just like not, like it's one of those things where it's like I'm not excited because there's just not enough to be there yet. So I'm just waiting patiently.
Them starting with Scepter and us having no AB is really suspect here. Surely we can overcome this though. This definitely feels maybe like a hero where person who goes first is definitely a bit favored. But I guess we can do like Grasp Arknight Shard here and just kind of YOLO. We can even give the open the gate to Earthel go again here, which is kind of sweet. Alright, we whipped off everything off the top, which is unfortunate, and they have a lot of things that they got. So I feel like we still kind of want to play out the Malefic, even though it's a little weird. Like, we could have held the Malefic to do a 7-sin swing, but I think maybe playing out the Rune Chants are better. I don't know. I honestly want this Open the Gates to Earthel to hit, but we'll see about that. You're taking 3 days off after the premiere to brew. That seems like fun. I definitely like this open the gates to Irithel to hit, but I kind of have my doubts here. We will see. I feel like this is a problem that can easily be solved by running AB1 somewhere, like maybe on our boot slot. This is maybe a sideboarding failure more than anything. Actually, where do we find, I guess, space for AB1? Let me see. Let me like take a quick look. Search Arcane Barrier 1. Can we put it? I guess we could do like Crown a Dichotomy potentially over Purgatory. Oh, I guess we can also run like Grimoire. But Grimoire doesn't work with 7 Sin. So maybe I think it's like Vexing, Null Rune Boots, or Crown a Dichotomy would probably be the AP slot. We'll think about it. Alright, but pretty scary on their side. They have a lot of stuff going on over there. I guess we have flipped, but our banishes were all pretty bad. Ooh, they're also getting the Shadow Realm Harrower. Pretty good card. I found that currently we don't have a ton of ways to like actually make this card work, so it's a little bit harder to play out if you don't get the gate generation going early. But it looks like they also do have the early gate, and it looks like they're just passing turn.
Scorchers, if Malice is just like certified not there yet, are you just gonna play Gravy?
I don't know why they're passing here. Maybe they're just trying to set up some crazy combo on us. I'm confused. Alright, so we played our non-attack. We got our attack now. Oh, actually, hold on. Maybe we want to... I think we want to become the Shadow Lord to banish the Shadow Averser. This is going to get weird. Or no, we don't want to do that, because that will get the go again. This deck is hard. I think we still do the widespread, then. So we do the widespread, play Revel in Runeblood, and then Grasp, do something? I don't know, this is so weird. Could also gate just to, like, flip back. This is getting a little bit suspect, but bear with me for a second here. So we use the gate to flip back. We play the widespread, and then we like hold the Revel to play with the 7 Sin. Is that the play? I feel like flipping back seems really strong. Interesting. Yeah, maybe AB is also just like fake here. I can kind of see that being the case. Open Redline stream, see blue in the hand, cries. Okay, look, if this is not Redline, I don't know what is. We're running 9 yellows and 8 blues, and our yellows are functionally reds, and our blues are functionally reds as well. We have like 2 true blues in the deck. I think this is basically a Redline deck, for the most part. You cannot fault me for that. Alright, but I kind of just want to flip back into base Viserai here. That's kind of my plan. Just kind of try to aggro them down a bit. Alright, so we will forsake the throne, go back to the normal Viserai. And then I think we're going to just try to gear up for a little bit of a setup turn. They should really probably start playing out some Blood Debt cards on us, but maybe they're trying to do some kind of like Uber combo thing on us. I'm not 100% sure what's going on over there. Alright, so we can become the Shadow Lord. Do that. Interesting. I think we're just kind of chilling this turn. Taking a little bit of an off turn, just seeing if they can kind of convert next turn. So go ahead and say no blocks here. Leak a little bit of damage. I kind of feel justified in maybe even not bringing AB. Maybe AB is just like fake. I kind of see that. Alright, let's become the Shadow Lord, banish the Urzer. And then I don't think we play out the Urzer this turn. I think we just like bank it for next turn. Just try to YOLO some... Oh, wait, does that change anything? That probably does change something, right? Now we just get to play this for free. With the Runechant agreed, and then we can save the Urzer. Yeah. Okay. That's a really good hit off the top. Holy crap. Seems busted. Yeah, is drawing cards off the top of the deck good? What do we think, chat? It seems like it's pretty okay. I think it's not bad here. All right, we get a Viserai trigger. And we flip and give this go again. Disgusting. Oh, this deck is so broken. Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's pretty good if you draw good cards. I think that's accurate. All right, putting them down to 16. Now they're like carrying us. It's not even going to be good. I mean, it might be like fine. Interesting. I think we just want to push as much damage as possible here and just like not give them the opportunity to kind of combo us. So let's play out the Rebel. And then just swing the 7-spin Nebula and like make them cash in the Carrion Husk. I think that seems worth it. OMG, I don't know if I want to go to Atlanta anymore. Well, Atlanta's coming to you. That's all I have to say. Deck seems pretty good. I don't know. Also, they're going to lose their Husk. Why are they not blocking with it? I don't know. Alright, they might just like kill me out of nowhere, which is also like very much a possibility here, but I kind of feel like we should be able to live this. And then, do we want to forsake the throne here? I think we do. Forsaking the throne seems kind of busted. They are trolling IMO. Also, I have like hopes for them. Maybe they can do something here. I have my doubts. Or maybe they just gave up. Also a possibility. They could be doing something over there. I don't know. Like, maybe they have a way to string together every blood deck card and kill me somehow. I don't know. Seems not good. Oh my god, they had a Cole too? Kinda gross. This is fine. Surely they're just gonna like die to blood debt here, basically, right? I think our plan is just block out and try to kill them with their own Carrion Husk. I think that's kind of the path to victory I see. But they do have like a pretty kind of crazy combo over there. They can like Sin Speaker, Gloomblade, do all the things. Seems alright. Now the question here is, do we want to just Purgatory them? I feel like Purgatory's tripping the last card here, just making it so that we can like block with Carrion Husk later on seems good, but we can also just like throw the Carrion Husk in now. I think that's maybe okay. Oh, they're running Rune Chant of Lust. Interesting. What does that one do? I forget what the Lust one does. I remember it not being very good. I think, was it the Overpower one? Alright, Rune Chant Agree is definitely the better one, though. Now, what do we do on this hand? So we could block like 7 here, Purgatory them. I think it's just safer to cash in the Husk, though. Cashing in Husk seems pretty worth it. I think they chose not to block with Carrion Husk at one point, and then we kind of just like won off the back of that, it kind of seems like. I don't know. Choose a card to banish to Cull. I think we'll banish the Painful there. Maybe it was better. Dirge is kind of broken, though. I don't know. Still seems kind of fine, potentially. What do we... Oh, we still have the Shadow Verser we can play. Seems pretty good. So they can, like, Reaper... What are they doing? I think they're just dying to blood. How do they do anything here? I have no idea. Pass? Seems good. I don't know. There's definitely something better they could have done that turn, right? Surely. They could have, like, activated a gate. I think the answer was to not become the Shadow Lord that turn. Because you can use the blue to pitch the gate and then play out, like, Corrupt and Conquer or something, right? I don't know. Anyways, okay, we're going to try to win the game here. I think we're just dirging our gate here, just trying to YOLO for damage off the top. And that also just lets us like immediately flip into Viserai. And then what do we hit here? Nothing off the top, but that's fine. So notably, this gives the first Blood deck card go against this, so not give the Runic Reaving go again. Oh, but we can just like give the Runic Reaving go again with the Snappies. Maybe that's the play. Okay, I like this. Oh, we can usurp their Rune Chant too, which is also kind of busted. That's one thing to note for, I guess, the limited of the set is you can usurp your opponent's Rune Chants. I forgot you can do that. Kind of hilarious. Yeah, seems like a good Snappies line here. I think you are correct, Rose. But I'm like 95% sure they're just like dead to Blood Dead here. Which I think is like the downside of playing all these like cards that you can't play from Banish immediately. It definitely seems like there's like kind of a bit of a cost there. At least in like this iteration. Maybe there's more upside in the future. Okay, so I guess you can't Nebula Blade this turn. This is fine though. We just pass here, Arsenal to reduce, and we're still miles ahead, it feels like. They might just die on their turn, is like the more realistic answer. Yep, Annihilation seems pretty good. No complaints there. Yeah, I don't think they can win this. I feel like there was some line there that could have like kept them alive for longer, but it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Alright, they're activating the gate to Irithel. So you have to play the Fasting Carcass, sure. Tome of Torment. Okay, you may play the Tome of Torment from your Banished Zone, draw a card. Okay, crazy. Sure. Is that card good? Alright, Ripped up. They're doing things. They could do something here. I don't know. Banishing an Arknight Shard. Okay, they have given up. Fair enough. I think that's a lot more like what Talishar Viserai decks are maybe looking at. I don't know. So, okay, they're running. This one is. Oh, this makes a Rune Chant when you usurp it, which is like in addition to the other Rune Chants. This makes like 2 Rune Chants. They're running Pride, which gives +1. Okay, so they're running like kind of like a wish board for the Rune Chants. That's interesting. I think Rune Chant Lust is like pretty reasonable though. I think like draw a card and go again are just like the stronger modes. So I don't know if I necessarily need the like 8th copy, but I think Lust is maybe like on the border of the better one. Gluttony I think is also pretty good. Just like giving you a resource for 7th Sin and Blade is like also pretty good. I feel like I needed like Mordred Tide in this deck, and like Douse and Blade also seems suspect. I don't know. Alright, let's try to get one more before we end the stream, but these have been some fun games tonight. Yeah, this deck is like kind of crazy. Little bit crazy. Seems busted. I don't know. Just no chat. You saw it here first. I actually don't. Maybe other people have been playing this, or I don't know. All right, Hala. Let's go first. Let's run Carrion Husk. And then, do we want to bring in anything specific for Hala? I feel like I've just been liking like main decking these reduces, is my honest opinion. We could also fat deck like a little bit here, which I think is also reasonable. Because Hala can definitely fatigue. And we just like fat deck like a 63 or something like this. What is the weapon text and ability? I'll read it to you in a second, Donnie. Let's run 66 because I'm like a little concerned about fatigue. Maybe with Tunic. That seems fine. Alright, they're running 63. Sure. So, okay, the weapon text on 7th Sin Nebula Blade says, red attack, activate this only if you played a card from a Banished Zone this turn. So that's the important kind of key phrase there. And when this hits a hero, create a Rune Chant token. So it's like Reaping Blade with upside, but also with downside because you don't get the get to swing it basically always, which is kind of like the rough part. All right, we'll give them a good luck, have fun. I think we're just gonna like kind of filter here, kind of like the idea of keeping the Painful Passage here, maybe over the otherworldly sins. Let's just make some Rune Chants and kind of gamble here. All right, Rune Chant agreed off the top. We'll play out a Sloth and then just like Arsenal pass. I will definitely say, like, the first initial turns of this hero, I think, are, like, a little on the weaker side. But I think it more than makes up for it with just, like, the crazy turns kind of, like, later on. Seems pretty good. Alright, Zenith Blade coming in. think we got like a pretty reasonable turn next turn. We can go like become the Shadow Lord, get rid of the Urzer, make our first like gate and stuff, and then just send in like Runic Reaving with go again. I think this seems alright. Yeah, it's okay, Donnie. I think a lot of people maybe don't know what 7 Sin Nebula Blade does. 7 Sin Nebula. So it's not Nebula Blade, it's 7 Sin Nebula. Which I guess is maybe like a little bit of a riff off that. But I think like I also kind of struggled knowing what this card does initially. It's like brand new card, it's always kind of hard. Alright, we got our Become the Shadow Lord here. Very exciting. Alright, let's see what we hit off the Viserai, though. Okay, we're banishing all of our rune chants, which is maybe not ideal, but that's okay. So let's become the Shadow Lord. And we'll banish the Shadow Urzer here. Go ahead and gamble on a rune chant. Okay, we hit a Revel off the top. Again, not ideal. And maybe just like rune chant a Greed. Well, is this going to flip us? I guess do we want to flip is maybe a better question. This is still fine, maybe. So a little bit of an early flip, but we do have the Gate to Earthel, so maybe it's not that bad. Oh, we draw a Pull from Beyond, actually. It's not... It's a pretty good draw off the top, because it means we don't have to, like, use our Snapdragons to convert here. So I think we're in decent shape. I will say I'm still, like, a little bit concerned about fatigue. And we also didn't play anything, so we can't actually 7 Sin Nebula Blade this anyways. Alright, I keep saying Nebula Blade. It's 7 Sin Nebula, but it's a blade, so I keep saying Nebula Blade. You think Swarming Gloomveil might ever be a consideration for this hero? I think it's reasonable. I think you can maybe run it over, like, Murderous or something. Maybe Murderous is just, like, bad. Oh, wait, why can't we pull from Beyond?
Ravenous.
I keep saying Ravenous, sorry. Wait, why can't I pull? Oh, this is an action. Sorry, I thought this was an instant. Okay, that's my bad. I've been treating this as an instant, so... This is a shock to me to find out this is an action. Kind of crazy. This is also block 3. That's pretty good. Sorry, for some reason I thought this was like Blood Tribune, I think was what I was thinking of. Right. Do we want to Forsake the Throne? I think yes. Let's Forsake the Throne just so we can like flip back into normal Viserai. I think seems reasonable. Okay, and Zenith Blade for 3 is fine. I am definitely a little bit concerned about them being at 46 over there. This is terrifying. So we have a little bit of an uphill battle here, I think. Would be an understatement. Okay, so how do we want to start this turn off? We have the Painful Passage, which is good. So we can, like, start with the Dirge and just, like, immediately flip into Viserai. Seems like it could be good. And then we do have the option to flip back if we do hit a red off the top with the Pull from Beyond. So, like, maybe this is, like, kind of decent here. Alright, so we flip into Viserai, we banish a Demon-bound Gloomblade. And then we can banish the Bounding Demigon as well here. And just give it plus buff. So then I think we play the Bounding Demigon, play the Ravenous Rabble, or I guess we pull from Beyond before Ravenous Rabble. And then just kind of set up like a crazy banish here. Seems pretty good though. So we're maybe kind of compensating for this initial life deficit here. I'm definitely just a little bit concerned about them kind of just going full on defense here. Alright, let's go ahead and close chain, play the Pull from Beyond. So this will inform the Murderous Rabble as well. Oh, we can manage to corrupt. Oh, that's actually nasty. Okay, we managed to Corrupt and Conquer, keep the Otherworldly Sins on top. And then that Corrupt and Conquer we can actually maybe use a little bit later in the game once we like draw a hand that has a blue in it. So that was kind of the idea with like Corrupt and Conquer in the deck, is to like have a like outlet for the gate basically, right? That's kind of like the vision. Whether or not that's good right now, maybe TBD on that, but still seems like it's pretty strong. So now we can find Spring Tunic and then just send in the 7 Sin Nebula. So a really strong turn. So we basically got them down. So this is like 16 damage plus a rune chant if they don't block this. Okay, it's really good. So we made up for the Sigil of Solace kind of beat down in the beginning there. All right, and then do we want to forsake our throne? It's tempting. But I do think having the Gogan, like, with this hand is, like, pretty... Maybe we don't actually want to forsake the throne just yet. I think we want to just stay as, like, flipped Viserai, maybe. I think this seems reasonable. Okay, so Edict of Steel, sure. So I kind of see a line here where we go, like, Widespread Ruin, off Become the Shadow Lord, and then maybe flip off the Become here. I am mildly concerned about a Beckon Steel, given that they did keep the full hand over there. But I don't know that we can necessarily play around it. Hollow holding 5 cards is interesting. It is definitely interesting. I kind of feel like that's maybe an indication that we should try to pop the Face Purgatory. It seems like it would get decent value, but our hand is really good next turn. The only question is like whether or not it's greedy to keep this hand. I think I'm leaning towards it being greedy. I think we just like go for the Purg anyways. Because if they're holding the Beckon, then this like kind of just blows them out. Alright, we did get the Beckon. Okay, very, very good. Okay, so that is a complete blowout on their side. So now they're just sending like functionally 10 and we can kind of beat this. Alright, very glad I perked that, because that was... We're looking at basically an additional, like, 7 damage. Okay, it still gets Swordmaster Shine, which is pretty good. Not bad. Hala. Okay, so going down to 19, which is still pretty scary. But I think we have, like, a decent kind of comeback here. Okay, so how does this work? We do... Wow, they took all that damage and didn't play around information on the board. That's the streamer luck, I guess. Okay, so how do we navigate this turn? Yeah, it's a nice turn anyways, I think. So how do we do this? So I think we Otherworldly Sins. Hold on, I don't want to mess this up. Actually, I see a couple lines here. We can Otherworldly Sins. Let me give them like a thinking real quick. Because this is like a turn that's, I think, worth taking a little extra time on. So I kind of want to play the Corrupt and Conquer to get it out of banishment. Maybe we don't need to do that this turn because like we already kind of have like a decent turn already. So maybe what I actually like doing is starting with the Demon Bound Gloomblade. Then we can banish this one off the Shadow Verser. Our opponent's inviting us to chat too. Let's go ahead and start with the Gloomblade because I think this one will get go again, right? I think this is the line. They asked, are you Aurora from Flesh and Bad? And I said, yeah, you're on stream. Welcome to Jackass. That's funny. I hope that's not rude. Maybe that's rude. Hello. Okay, our opponent, hold on. Let's see who our opponent is. Our opponent says hi to everyone. What is our opponent's name? Let's check. Our opponent's name is Eagle, like the bird of America, which we know and despise. Okay.
It's getting late, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's getting late. All the good takes are coming out here. Okay. So now we have Shadow Verser. Seems good. We can ban it. Sorry. That took a lot out of me. Okay. Shadow Verser banished the Sin Speaker Gloomblade. Alright, I think I navigated this turn alright. So now we can close chain, play out Otherworldly Sins. We banish the Rune Chant here, which lets us tutor Rune Chant, which doesn't do anything but lets us 7 send Nimbula Blade, which is good. I can hear the Jackass theme now. Thank you. I worked hard on that joke for a minute. This just in, Viserai hates birds. Only that bird. Only the eagle. I think that's canon. Someone get James White on the phone and confirm if that's canon. Alright, let's go ahead and get... Which one do we rather have in the deck? I guess we'll take the sloth because it's like the worst one. Still pushing a lot of damage here though, which is really good. Okay, they're giving us crown. We still also have this Corrupting Conqueror, which is kind of just waiting to be used. Alright, I think this is a good enough opportunity to just use the snaps here, just so we get a free 7-spin swing. Seems really strong. This deck is broken. it's kind of broken. I don't know, not gonna lie. I really hope they just like Arsenal something here so we get them with the Corrupting Conqueror. Alright, so our Rune Champ pops. We're not in base Viserai, so that's not going to really do much for us here. And then this is a hand that, like, doesn't... It's fine, I guess. The only not exciting thing about this hand is we can't play the Corrupting Conqueror super easily because we're having, like, pitch 3 cards. So I think this is still, like, an okay hand anyways. Maybe we just, like, Arsenal the Dirge for when we do flip back into, like, base Viserai. So I think the play here... So you just, like, play out this one. Just do kind of, like, a middling turn here. Do a little middling turn, kind of, like, set up for when we, like, do end up drawing, like, a blue or a yellow here, and then we can, like, potentially play out the Corrupting Conqueror. I think that seems reasonable. There was, like, a line where you can just, like, gate to your Thal and then play the Corrupting Conqueror, but I think that's, like, kind of weak. I don't know, Corrupting Conqueror is definitely a card that's like a little bit weaker in this current iteration of the list just because we're on mostly reds, right? So makes it a bit worse. Alright, so we have the Zenith Blade smacking us here. We're just gonna go for a Fate here. Okay, sword. Oh, double Swordmaster Shine. Holy crap. Okay, fair enough. Terrifying. So what do we want to do about that? We take 10, go down to 7. Little suspect here. We have Eye of Ophidia on top of our deck. Is that good? I don't think so. So go ahead and bottom that. And I suppose we could play the Reduce. We are taking 10 here, which is like a little sketchy. You also have Tunic coming up, so you can go like Corrupting Conqueror into 7 Sin is pretty sweet. Maybe I like just like popping the Reduce here. It's like a little bit awkward, but I think staying alive is important. And I didn't play on the double Swordmaster Shine, so they might still like get us here. Very easily. Alright, I think we have like a decent line for like flipping back into base Viserai, which we definitely want to do here though. So we'll activate our gate, which lets us play out the Corrupting Conqueror. And then Corrupting Conqueror will get go again. And then we finish on the 7 Sin, so we're still sending like 10 here. It's not bad. It's definitely kind of what we need to stabilize here potentially, because they are going to probably maybe try to keep the full hand and just send a ton of damage next turn. Kind of have to see, but I do... Oh, they're giving us 2 Fiddlers. Okay. This probably doesn't bode super well for us. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Corrupting Conqueror on hit there, but unlucky. I guess we'll just follow up with the 7 Sin here. So they're still going to gain an additional 6 life, putting them back to 14, but they might not be able to like kill us next turn. So we'll go ahead and Forsake the Throne, and then we have the Deadwood Dirge to potentially get us back into flipped Viserai if we want to. But yeah, we have a pretty close game on our hands here. Alright, I think I'm just going to Fate Foreseen this, just so we can like inform what the top of our deck is, kind of look for something good to banish here. Okay, Pull from Beyond is not going to cut it, so we'll go ahead and bottom that one. And they're going to swing again. the truce. So you have to be equally careful about not dying and also not getting fatigued here is the big thing. And the awkward part about Dirge is it does like immediately flip us into Viserai, which might not be exactly what we want. But I kind of like the idea of maybe blocking with the Painful Passage here just to like kind of add the life total a little bit. Just because we kind of are getting in the danger zone. We could have theoretically also given Tunic there to like deny the Vigor. Tempting. So we might not get another Tunic activation this game, but we'll see. Alright, so let's start with the Rabble, I guess. Start with the Rabble, see what's up. Ooh, Batting Demigod off the top is really nice. That is a good hit. You might even want to just like play that out immediately, depending. So if we make another Rune Chant, we actually will banish off the top the Sin Speaker Gloomblade, which is pretty nice. How many Rune Chants have we used? We've used 3 Rune Chants here. And how many? We have 2 Rune Chants. We have 1 Rune Chant left in the deck. Or one of the Sin Chants, I guess, is maybe a better way to phrase it. But yeah, we still definitely have a lot of play here. So let's go ahead and Dirge. We can even Dirge the Gate, which is probably a bit aggressive. So I think I like the idea of maybe just Dirging the Rune Chant here seems a little safer. So this will immediately flip us into other Viserai, which is fine, I think, here. So I think we might as well just like tutor for another Rune Chant just to push a little bit more extra damage, although it is like a little sketch that we only have 1 left in the deck. I think it's still worth it though if we're just trying to like kind of race at this point. A little bit interesting here. We do also need to make sure we're like setting up a turn to just like overlap and kind of kill them here. So we have the Bounding Demigod. We could also just like swing the Nebula. Also kind of tempting. Could also just like Cull. Did they? I assume they took damage this turn, right? I'm not imagining that. Yeah, maybe Cull is like better. Just like Cull and maybe take a Blood Debt here. Be like a little bit annoying. Alright, getting the Brimming Blade is probably pretty sweet for us. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this, but this is going to definitely be pretty difficult here. Oh, this hand is not particularly good. But maybe Pull from Beyond will just like bail us out super hard here. Could see that being the case. Could also just like hard cast a Widespread, so we have options here. Could also just like take 3. Maybe we actually just like catch in the Grasp because the extra red here could mean that we could like 7 Sin potentially. Maybe not though, because like we want to maybe play out this Widespread. It's a little tricky. We need more blues in this deck. It's potentially true. I think I'm just gonna give him the Widespread here. This might be wrong. It really depends like what we're hitting off the Pull from Beyond. But we will see here. Like this deck could definitely use a couple more blues. Like maybe that's just like in the set there will be a lot more blues to kind of support the hero, you know. Feels like there's definitely enough to support like a Redline strategy, but not necessarily the blues as much. Oh, we can actually play out Open the Gate to Irithyll is pretty sweet here. So how do we navigate this? We bottom the Demon Bound Gloomblade. We top the Open the Gate to Irithyll. We banished that, so this will make 3 Gate to Irithylls, which is pretty sweet. And now we play one of them out, or like play this one out, just to like refresh, like maybe flip back into base Viserai one more time. And then this gets go again. We swing with like the Nebula or something. Sorry, it's getting a little late, so my brain is kind of fried at this point, but I'm doing my best here. Maybe there's also like a different pitch we take there. Interesting. Okay, Shelter is good because it means they're not like keeping cards to kill us maybe as hard. Alright, it's good to end up still being fine for us. Viserai, yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. So we did activate. We're taking one Blood Debt here, which I think is okay. We're flipping back into base Viserai. And then hopefully we draw the hand to kind of flip back and maybe just like close the game out that way. Definitely seems like we're kind of struggling into the Warriors here a bit, which is kind of surprising. I mean, it kind of like makes sense. The Warriors are pretty good. Block pretty well. It's for Sacred Throne. Arsenal the Widespread, which may or may not be very good here. Ooh, and this hand needs help. Yeah, the Bounding Demigod. Not having a non-attack for that's really rough. Okay, we'll do our best here. Okay, Edict of Steel, pretty nasty. So we can potentially just block a bit this turn. Maybe just try to go for a block on like a beckon turn. How many beckons have we seen? I guess we saw one pitched early. We saw one here. None in banish. So they could have up to one more beckon. So I guess we might as well just like play around the card because our hand's not doing much really anyways. I think we're just blocking out here. Still get to like potentially send 6 on our turn though. Not bad. But we are taking the Blood Debt, which is like a little scary. So yeah, definitely a unfortunate brick turn there. But we will make do. So I think we just Runic Reaving for 6 here. It's not terrible. It's like 0 for 5, kind of, right? It seems okay. So we force Dynamos, they get to keep a 5-card hand, but if they can't convert a 5-card hand, then maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we're fine. Still have some armor to work with. We can still block a bit, so I don't think we're toast here. At least not yet. Alright, let's see what they got. Alright, looks like they're going to take 2 here, keep a 4-card hand. Alright, see how bad this hand they're going to present is for us. Alright, Swordmaster's Path is a pretty good start. Edict of Steel, also very good. Alright, I don't know that we can necessarily play around the beckon at this point. But I suppose we will do our best. So we'll give them 6 block here, and then hope it's just like another sword swing or something. If they have the beckon, I think they win. Because this is 2, right? So they will be able to get it here if they want to. But we will keep the hand that I guess maximizes our chance of winning here. So I think that involves going to 1. We could also give up Tunic, but I think we need that. Maybe. Depends how much Blood Debt I guess we hit here. Alright, no beckon? Okay, they don't have the beckon. That's very good for us. Okay, chat, are we winning? We might be winning. Alright, this is very exciting. So, we go... So we start with the Grasp here. Because I think the Grasp... We need to flip into other Viserai to like make the most use out of our hand here, right? And the other Holy Sins will let us play the Bounding. The Viserai could also kill us. Alright, we hit Urzer, which is maybe not the best, but like fine. Alright, what do we hit off Viserai one more time? We hit a Fate Foreseen. Okay, so we now flip into other Viserai. And then I guess we could potentially die here? It kind of depends. Maybe this is risky. Like, maybe giving Tunic... I don't know. I think I still stand by this play, even though we might end up losing here. All right, let's go for the bounding one more time. Oh no, we can play out the Ursa. We can play out the Ursa if we want to. Oh, okay, maybe that's the line. So we don't die to blood debt if they do end up being able to pay for everything here. Okay. That's something, I think. So they have like bait per scene here or something. Or sink or whatever. Sure. So we got down to 2. And then we can like play out the Ursa for no-go again, just to like stay alive another turn. I'm maybe like grasping at straws here. But I think we're like kind of okay if they just keep like one card in hand. Can only swing they can only swing like the Zenith Blade or something. I think we're okay here. I definitely could have like maybe played this a bit better. But also like I have less than like 15 games on the hero, so my apologies, I guess. Alright, and again, sure. So as long as they don't have like random react in Arsenal, I think we're chilling here. We don't have any blood debt. Things are good. Now we just need to kill them. Alright, we do not have a 3-block in hand, which is a little awkward. So I guess we're blocking with one of these Rebels, right? Oh, losing Tunic also really sucks here. Oh, this is bad. No, this is still bad. But I guess we'll have the most out here. Okay, we're still alive. That's good. And then we can send 7 in here. We might even just be, like, fatiguing. It's kind of hard to tell. We can widespread... We can widespread go again into Reaving. That's 10 damage. I mean... Little suspect, but maybe we're okay. Maybe also Copium. Okay, toe the line is good for us. Means they're going to 1. So if they don't have a D-React here, I think we like just strip their hand, right? So we attack, we don't usurp, which is fine. Alright, so they have the Sigil, and now they have to like block the last card. I think we're kind of okay here. So they go to 3, but we now have like full tempo, and they don't have the ability to swing this turn, so maybe this is okay. This hand's bad though. Okay, what do we do here? Is there anything to do here? Is maybe a better question. Oh wait, no, this is fine. We can like play the Shadow Verser, which has go again, right? How do we do this? But like we can't play anything. The gates are not helping us very much here. Oh boy, I think we're still cooked. I don't know. Thinking. Alright, hope that they don't have a blue in hand. Maybe that's our path to victory. Oh, the next... Oh, if we would have drawn, like, one of these, it would have been so much better. I guess I should, like, know my pitch stack or whatever, but... Lots of blues in this red... There's not a ton of, like, other options for non-blues.
I like how everyone's just like, lots blue.
Lots of blue... Like, what other blues are there to... Like, there... Okay, so, like, we're running the best blues in the game for this deck, right? And then we're running, like, Iron Arcanite Shard, which is not that many blues, if you think about it. Okay. But anyways, we're going to... I guess just leave both those on top. I kind of like want both of those. Top widespread, play Malefic, and Dirge, send the widespread. No, we can't do that because we're other side of the Viserai, so we don't actually get the chance to banish. We can only yeah, we can't flip to the other version of Viserai, unfortunately. So I think we Malefic here and just try to make the rune chance as annoying as possible. I guess we like Dirge a gate. Yeah, so unfortunately we can't play the widespread. That would have been like very good if we could. Well, we can still do this, I guess. Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of hard to tell the sides apart a little bit. I think we're still kind of cooked here. But maybe. Yeah, this deck does have a lot of things to juggle. I think, I don't know, like maybe with a little bit more support, this becomes a little bit more easy to like beat Warrior and stuff like that. I also could have just like pitch stacked wrong. Maybe that was also the issue. Alright, so we put them to 2, which is still probably not good enough here. Yeah, I also don't know what's in their arsenal either. No, I can't sword because I haven't played out a card from Banish that turn. As a stipulation of the sword. Oh, and we can't go to 1 here, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. Okay. What can we do here? Become the Shadow Lord, and this. We're like 1 rune chant off, basically. What is the best line we can take here? I don't know if there's anything that really cuts it here. We could do, like, block here, send Rabble. No, maybe keeping the Cull is good. We do, like, something like this. I was thinking maybe, like, pitch to Grasp just to, like, preserve deck density or something, but... Can I hard cast the Widespread? Is that good, though? Do 1 and 6? I feel like 4 and take a card is maybe better. I don't know, this is weird. We could hardcast the Widespread. Maybe the Rabble's actually bad, because we might actually have like a blue or something on top. Maybe I do like hardcast Widespread. We send 6 and 1. Is that like good enough though? Huh. Yeah, I think Widespread's taking 2 card. I mean, it's still like probably the best play here. Interesting. I guess we're just still going for it. I guess we like make a rune chain on the back, so it's like fine. I definitely could have played this a bit better though. I don't know what exact point. Like maybe we just didn't need to. Maybe it's just like a rougher matchup because they're on like more reacts and stuff, and I don't know if this deck has the tools to necessarily beat that yet. Oh, they did take damage, so we do get their arsenal, whatever it is. So we're getting kind of 3 cards from them anyways here. Okay. My hopes are rising. Okay, we hit a Twinning Blade from them. That kind of makes sense. Ooh, we have Reduce. Okay. That doesn't cut it yet, though. Because we can reduce this, but there's still something 4 on the back. I think we might still be cooked here. How do we win this? Maybe this is some kind of puzzle I'm not seeing. I don't think we can, because they did make the flurry this turn. That was an unfortunate Edict draw. Would a different sort of bail you out on the Clunker turn? Are there any playable options even other than Dreadsight? So the problem is Reaping Blade is banned, right? It's banned from Aurora, so you can't even play that necessarily. So it's really awkward. I don't know. Maybe there is a better option. I don't know if there is, chat. But like Scepter of Pain, I guess, is one. I guess we can set 5 and 1 here. Like, we're still kind of contesting them at least a little bit, but like it doesn't feel like we're just able to keep a big enough hand to deal. I guess like this is 1 and 5 is kind of annoying. So like we're guaranteed 2 cards. Oh no, they have the they have Dynamos plus D-React. Oh no. If they still can't send more than 3 next turn, we can maybe do something here. Alright, but I think we're getting fatigued, unfortunately. I guess they can sharpen too, yeah. Sharpen for an initial 1 is kind of nasty here too still. I mean, I guess we can just like... I don't know what is the out here. We can... I don't think there is one, is I guess maybe the answer. We can do the same like Widespread play, but I don't think that cuts it. Interesting. I think we like... I think with a little bit more support, we like win this game like super easily. Like if we have like more of an excuse to like actually use like the Gate Tier Thells and like more synergy with them, I think that this is like a pretty easy game for us. This does still take 3 cards, but like we only have We have Eye of Ophidia, Arknight Shard, and then like one other random card in deck, and I don't know what it is. Or maybe I forgot. I don't think we can win this. Oh, they have Fiddler's Green. Okay. Wait, maybe there's a chance. Okay. So they go back up to 3. No, I still don't think there's like any way to do it here. Okay, so wait. They can become the Shadow Lord to do what exactly? I don't think this does anything. I think we're cooked, chat. I don't think there's a way to win unless I'm missing something obvious. Alright, GG's opponent. I think they got us. Unfortunately, we can't even like play the Rune Chance or anything, right? Okay. They got us, chat. It's unfortunate. Alright, GG's opponent. Give them a good game. But yeah, shout out to Eagle, who I guess is our opponent here. But they got us good. I think it's really hard to like break through the defenses here. Maybe we just needed like... Maybe we need to fat deck this a little harder. Maybe that's like the answer. But yeah, GG's. I think that's going to probably wrap it up for the stream today. But the deck seems really, really good. Like, I think that maybe these are like sideboarding or piloting issues at this point. But like, keep in mind, we're also getting like an entire new set of SERP to basically support this, right? So like, I don't think that these issues... That was a good one. America always wins. I hope not. But yeah, anyways, I think like... I don't know, pretty like interesting game, I think. Like I think we have like more tools like once the full set gets spoiled and everything. So we definitely have like a lot of interesting support, I guess, on the horizon. But anyways, I'll go ahead and put the deck list in chat if anyone wants to mess around with it. It's pretty fun. I do think that this is like the best that I could come up with like before the set releases, but I think there's obviously still a lot of like tweaking and stuff that you can kind of do to kind of like maybe make the fatigue matchups like a little bit easier or whatever. But anyways, I'm going to go eat dinner, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all Wednesday. I think we're going to be doing like a VOD review or something. So, see ya!